our music. We hope YouTube will not disconnect our YouTube audience. But if it does, those of us that are on here will continue enjoying the party. Woo! Music. We hope YouTube will not disconnect our YouTube audience. But if it does, those of us that are on here will continue enjoying the party. And we are live on YouTube. Music. We hope YouTube will not disconnect our YouTube audience. But if it does, those of us that are... Okay, so YouTube is working. I'm going to copy the link and share it with all of you. I can see myself on YouTube. So let me share the link. You all, the team, please make sure you publicize it on your platforms. I just posted it in the box. Can everybody still hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and then I'll also get the music going. So Linda, for the first 5 minutes, let the PowerPoints roll. And then at around 3:05, you can get started. How does that sound?
I hope we'll have a little more people then.
Yes, yes. Because like we said, Linda will start off with introductions. So hopefully that will buy us some time. And yes, but Linda, did you hear me?
Yes, yes. Got you.
Okay. All right, awesome. And if you all can see on YouTube, we're already live on YouTube. So Queen, you and Grace are the co-hosts. At 10 on the dot, you can feel free to let people in. And let's get started. Let me share my screen. All right, wait for it. We're getting there. Okay, let me share screen and share my sound. And you all just confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let me quickly stop sharing my screen just to do something. I'm glad the screen is working. Don't let anyone yet quite in or quite yet. Don't let anyone in quite yet. All right, let's try this one more time. Share screen, let's stop.
We don't cast, last. Now everybody go to breakfast.
Zaga
You go bow for the result, though. Nothing to discuss, oh. Cause I did win by default and without any doubt, oh. Mama me happy adult, oh. I no go feed the girl insult, oh. I'm a mind that's really dark, oh. I put my life into my job and I know I'm in trouble. She manipulate my love, oh. I know holy and I know that get both. Like the Baba Frayo, my ayo, don't cry, yo. I need to go and shadow. 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 I did Port when them kill Soboma. I did try to buy moto, one Toyota Corolla. My feelings been this swing like Django Lover. Feelings been this swing like Django Lover. Now you crash your Ferrari for Leggy Bona. Now so much you make that feel over. My feelings been this swing like Django Lover. See how they live to put the show to they make me know. This distance is taking a hold on me for sure. Baby, come. make you pull over. I feel like make you pull over. Mama, pull over. Shaping up this kind of things where they make man see ya. And me, I understand. So your dad don't like me, rara. Say me, I won't make you know. Say me there for you, gotta. And if not the price be that, I feel like to see ya. I never traded you for nothing. This love will make you with a sharp and shit. Without you, I know break you down. Without you, with the feel. My God, tell me what is up, been gone, been gone. I never traded you, baby. This love will make you with a nothing. No. I'm gonna tell me what is up, been gone. I'm gonna to make me dead. I'm gonna wanna make you baby, make you oh baby,
Easy takes me back to Snapchat. Sexy steps on that speedy like Blackshot. Closing on my quality bed. Quality best is rest assured for you. Me ready shoot my shots in you. Put me for your private story. Let me see you in your full glory. Anything I want you show me. She did finish work, she did go in. No man can ever clone me. I'm the realest, she knows me. Fulfill all that you told me. I'ma finish work, baby, go in. Yeah, you been on my mind lately. We won't forget, boom, boom, down. Yeah, you been on my mind lately. Forget, boom, boom, down. You want to see you soon. You should be here in my moon. Come catch my cruise. Me want to see you move. All I need is you. Baby, stay in my room. Yeah, good girl, right there. Say these tricks to me.
my brother. I know if you calculate, stick calculus, if you let it go. I know if it reason how many people affect me, go. Inside the life, now inside the carcass. Open my eyes out, make her they see ya. Make her face my front. Make a bad no use me just run. Make butter no stain my clothes. On my advantage every time I ball. Cause now only that way they set my cause. They my holding as I run my run. Me I know they for the attack along. On my advantage every time I ball. Cause now only that way they set my cause.
I can feel it in love, go by me, oh. I can feel it in love, go and take me, oh. I can feel it in for this is it.
If I reason, I feel go day. Colometa, 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 I feel go day. Colometa, 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 colometa. This driving I follow come. Still dreaming, but I know.
Now me with the clean on the house. Now me with the wash on the car. Now me with the cook. Now me with the wash on the clothes. Now me with the walk for your shop. Now me with the I become a person for my happiness. So still be my own. Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, passing my own. I become a person for my happiness.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can all hear me.
I welcome you to the 2023 Purple Ball event. Today, 25th of March. Of course, we shifted it because of the elections, but here we are today, and we are getting to do this, and I'm really, really excited, and I know you are excited too. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. My name is Linda Raji. I'm a girl child advocate, a mental health enthusiast, and the program manager at Anozen Gogo's Age Foundation. And I'm your MC for this event. Thank you so much. I can see our participant list is growing. Thank you for being right on time. We appreciate you. So yes, this is the 6th annual Purple Ball event in commemoration of the Women's History Month and International Women's Day. So I would like every one of us to introduce ourselves. Either you unmute yourself or you put on your camera, your video and introduce yourself, or you drop your details on the chat box. Just tell us your name, your location, and your favorite physical feature. I am curious to know that one. So if you can hear me, kindly drop your details on the chat box, your name, we'd like to know where you're joining us from. So for example, I am Linda from Abuja, and my favorite physical feature is my eye. Growing up, they called me Chinese eyes, and it was funny, but now I've accepted it fully. And I mean, it's not easy to be African and Chinese at the same time. So thank you so much, and welcome once again to our Purple Ball event. The theme for this year's Purple Ball event is Embrace Equity, Bridging the Economic, Political, and Technology Gap for Nigerian Women. And of course, we have a lineup of incredible speakers. And we'll be delving into discussions centered around the unique challenges facing Nigerian women and practical solutions to overcome them. And of course, I know we have our international audience also here, so they get to learn about the Nigerian women's struggle and of course, the highs and the lows. And of course, we'd like to hear from them also, because at the end of the day, we have something in common. We are all women. So yes, I can see more people are joining us. Thank you. I say welcome once again to the 2023 Purple Ball event. Kindly drop your name on our chat box. Tell us your location, where you are joining us from, and your most favorite physical feature. Yes, is there anybody that is interested in speaking to us? I know we're writing on the chat box, but if you're interested in writing and speaking to us instead, that this is the time.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Yusuf Najad, and I'm from Osun State. And my favorite physical feature, I would say, is my breast. It can sound funny, but yeah, I think I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, it's a physical feature to be proud of, really. Let me quickly go through this chat box. We can see Irene Uba, our keynote speaker. She's joined from Abuja. You didn't tell us your favorite physical feature, though. I'm waiting for that. Then we have name, and we have Peace Umana. She's also joining from Abuja. No physical feature. You should have a favorite. We'd like to know. Then we have Jane Chisenga joining us from Zambia. Welcome, Jane. And we would like to know your favorite physical feature also. Is there anybody that would like to speak next and tell us their name and where they're joining us from?
Okay, good day, everyone.
Yes.
All right, my name is Zach Onwe. I'm joining from Abuja.
Yay, we have our first male to speak at today's event. Thank you so much, Zach, for joining us from Abuja. Thank you.
Is that?
Then Peace said her favorite physical feature is her lips. Nice. My name is Maureen. Welcome, Maureen. I'm joining from Abuja. Yes, please.
Is Zach not going to tell us his favorite physical feature?
Okay, Zach, you heard her. We would like to know your favorite physical feature.
Okay, my favorite, it's physical. I would have said my voice, but because my voice is one of the most features that people always, make reference to. But physical, like I say, I think I have a very fine body. That's what I would say.
Oh,
Thank
okay. You have a nice physique.
you.
All right. Thank you for telling us that. Any other person would like to go next? All right. So P said her favorite physical feature is her lips. Okay. Maureen said her favorite physical feature is her neck for some reason. Okay. And Jane also said her lips. There must be something going on with lips. Okay. Thank you. So we are expecting to read more. So please kindly drop your name, your location, and your favorite physical feature. And it might interest you to know that we had our first Purple Ball event in 2018. And of course, it was a physical event, like I said. And it was really interesting. It was fun. We were all dressed in a touch of purple, looking all glamorous. And here we are 6 years later, 2019. I think, yes, we had another physical one. Then COVID-19 struck in 2020, and we had to go virtual for a couple of years. And this year, we were also hoping to have a physical event. But of course, because of the general elections and the security concerns, we opted to go for a virtual event. But hopefully next year, we are looking forward to another physical event. So get ready your touch of purple, your tuxedos for the guys, and for the, of course, the ladies, your purple dresses like a ball. I mean, just come and have fun. So I would like any other person who would like to tell us anything about themselves. Feel free, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Irene Igomu, and I'm joining in from Abuja, Nigeria. Zach, I'm actually very, very, very curious about what you look like physically. But for me, it will be my lips, because I've gotten a lot of compliments about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you for saying that. Okay, for sharing with us. Her lips. There's something going on with lips that we really need to figure out. It's interesting to know, really. Thank you so much for sharing, Irene. So we are here to celebrate and then to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and definitely to network in a fun way today. To this end, we have a lineup of interesting and carefully selected speakers and panelists ready to impart much needed knowledge in us. And we'll be hearing from a lot of this knowledgeable female force. Wait for it. I have some names that might interest you. Elizabeth Williams, we have Onyinye Edaye, we have Nke Adeoye, we have the one and only Progress Oko. So on Facebook a lot, you see her, she's a first there. We have Dr. Berin Odini, we have Sadia Ocheklie, Margaret Bolaji Adebola, Stephanie Appel, and much more. Please, in the course of this event, feel free to check the chat box. You'll be seeing, time to time, you'll be seeing some necessary information from our amazing communications team. All right, so we also, I like this part, we also have our fastest fingers game later on in this event. So at least 20 lucky participants will be getting airtime and mobile data. So my name remains Linda, and I am your MC for this event. So if you are just joining us, feel free to write on the chat box. We'd like to know your name, your location where you are joining us from, and of course, mention your favorite physical feature. Write this on the chat box and we'll be reading them also. And also remember to mute your microphone to avoid any kind of distractions, except you would like to say something and we'll call on you. All right, are we set to start? I would like to see some emoji with a raise of hand on the chat box saying we are ready to start, and we dive right in. I promise you we'll be keeping to time. We'll not be wasting any of your time here today. We are women and we keep to time. Charles from our chat box said, good to be here, looking forward to the conversation. His favorite physical attribute is his big head. Okay. When I realized I needed to protect my rather expensive and curious brain tissue. Interesting. We also have Ruth joined from Abuja, and our favorite physical feature is her cute eyes. Thank you for that, Ruth. And Yusuf Najat from Osun State, my favorite physical feature is my breast. Thank you for sharing that, Najat. And okay, so we'll be jumping right in. So to get us started, I would like to invite the Purple Ball co-convener, the incredible Stephanie Appel. She's the Executive Director of Glamorous Mothers Development Initiative, Glamody, to give the welcome address, and while Onyinye Ede later on will give the vision of Purple Ball, please a round of applause for Stephanie Appel.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you. It's so good to see you. I like your purple. I wish I could see everyone. I don't know. Some people didn't turn on their cameras. We should see ourselves. I'm on a trip. I'm supposed to have been in Abuja, but I'm in Benue. I came for a funeral. I had to rush back to where I'm staying to be able to join.
Thank you.
It's so good to see another year and another Purple Ball. We actually do miss the fact that we've not done the physical one for a while. But as you know now, Linda, the physical ones are always very interesting. We get to dance, we eat, So we're looking forward to that by next year, by the grace of God. We really hope we could have done it this year, but for the elections. So I want to thank everyone that has turned up today. Purple Ball is a very simple event. All we do is have fun. And like Linda said, we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. We're looking forward to a beautiful event. We have a list of panelists and mentors for tonight. And I believe that we'll all have fun. So relax. I was not happy when I saw people dropping their names and their favorite body parts in the comments. I was hoping that everyone will come up on video. And if you say your favorite body part is your lips like mine, I should see the lips. So please, let's feel free. Enable your videos and let's see you so we can interact, see our faces, and get to put faces to the names we are seeing in the chat box. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. On behalf of the other team members, I welcome you again to this year's Purple Ball. Thank you very much. Onye will take over from here. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie. And thanks, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me all right. As Stephanie has said, we're really excited to have you all. Yay, Purple Ball 2020.
Yes.
Excited. All right, before I talk about the vision of Purple Ball, okay, well, maybe after I talk about the vision of Purple Ball, there's something I want us to do. So basically, as Linda stated earlier, Purple Ball started, well, it started before 2018, but in 2018, Glamody and Segai officially became partners and became co-conveners of this amazing event. I love when women get together and say, let us do something together. Nothing makes me excited than getting requests from women-led organizations that say, wow, I think we can collaborate to make this even bigger than I started with. So I just want to appreciate Stephanie. She just recently met me. I was in Nigeria in 2018 doing a fellowship. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry, I didn't officially introduce myself. I am Onyinye Ede. Of course, a lot of you know me, but I'm speaking to you live from Silver Spring in Maryland, all the way in Obodo, USA. So I bring you early morning. Well, it's not so early anymore. It's after 10 a.m. So I bring you greetings from Maryland. But yes, as I was saying, I met Stephanie back in 2018. It was earlier in the year. And she was like, Onyinye, we have this thing that we do at Glamody. It's called the Purple Ball. This year, I want us to I want Segai to come on board. Let's do it. I think within a couple of months, we made it happen. And till date, that has been my most fun event with women. And I really look forward to us getting back in person. We were all glammed out. We had the red carpet. We had the DJ. Okay, we're going to try our best to have some music, but it's not the same as having an in-person DJ. So, but once again, we thank you for being here. And as I said, the Purple Ball started in 2018 as a collaboration between Glamodi and Segai, which is Glamorous Mothers Development Initiative and Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. And the vision for Purple Ball, like what is the goal of this? What is our big idea? The big idea is really that we want women to come together to celebrate our trailblazers, because many women are doing incredible things in Nigeria and across the world. So we want to give women this space to talk about yourself. Yes, toot your own horn, like let the whole world hear what you have done in your space, even if it's in your village, we want to hear it. So this gives you a chance to celebrate women and also for us to mentor women. One of the things I'm very passionate about, and this is where Segai really came on board, is that we want to incorporate mentorship into the Purple Ball. We have fantastic speakers, but many times young women don't know how to reach out to those speakers for support or for guidance. So we want to help you create that connection today by removing the barriers. So we're bringing these fantastic women to you. You can chat them up, shout out, or don't shout out and be rude and disrespectful, but just raise your hand and ask a question. But yeah, so we're so excited to have you all, as you can tell. I'm really excited. So yes, our vision is to bring women together to celebrate our trailblazers and also to help lift each other as we're climbing. It's very lonely when you're at the top by yourself. So we want more women to get to the top with all of us. We're sure you're going to have an exciting time. Thank you for being here. And yes, we're cheers to women. Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Month or Women's History Month. And yes, over to you, Linda. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Onyinye. Yes, cheers to female collaboration. Thanks, cheers to women supporting other women. Cheers to women lifting other women, and we're really, really excited about today. So to take us further, I will invite Queen Ugwero. She's the programs manager at Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. She'll be leading us on a knowledge retrieval. You have the floor, Queen.
Yes, thank you. Since I couldn't get a purple background, I'm adjusting my touch of purple. Oh God, I'm so jealous of those that have this disco background. What's happening? I've spent 10 minutes, Miss O. Okay, yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, I just said, oh, sorry. Next time we'll hook you up.
Please do. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you, Linda, for the introduction. And we are going straight ahead to our trivia. Who is ready to win some recharge cards? Fastest fingers. And each question is 30 seconds because we have just 5 minutes for this session and we have 10 questions. Ms. O, can you help me share your screen, please? Thank you.
Yes, I can. All right.
Don't Google. Don't use Google. Okay. So yeah, the first question. Fastest finger. Please, Grace, help me monitor the charts as I say the answers. So what is the principal global intergovernmental body exclusively dedicated to the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women? I'll take that again. What is the principal global intergovernmental body that is exclusively dedicated to the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women? And I forgot to say, Segai staff, in fact, Purple Ball planning team, they are disqualified. So yeah, fastest fingers. Okay, I'm seeing UN women. Okay. I think that question is 30 seconds by now. CSW. What? Okay. Please. Yeah, go. Is there any other answer? United Nations Women. Okay, that question is gone. And the answer is the Commission on the Status of Women. Someone says CSW. So yes, CSW. So question 2, how many sessions of the Commission on the Status of Women have been held so far? How many sessions of the Commission on the Status of Women have been held so far? 30 seconds, fastest fingers. Is the guest speaker allowed? Yes, I think yes, you're allowed. 67. Any other answer? Please help me monitor the chat. Segai Star, Purple Ball Planning Team, 65. Any other person? 4. Okay, I like that. Any other person? Okay, that question is gone. Question 3, 65. Okay. When and where did the first ever CSW session hold? When and where did the first ever CSW session hold? When and where?
Queen, sorry, can you be calling out the numbers, the names of the winners so that we know who won what?
Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. It's just that I'm not seeing the chat, so. Okay. When and where did the first New York in February 1947? New York 1947. So the answer is New York 1947. So whoever got that first is the winner of that question. So question 4, who founded the first Nigerian Indigenous Women's Association in 1924, and what was it called? Who founded the first Nigerian Indigenous Women's Association in 1924, and what was it called? Whoever is the fastest finger is the one that gets the answer. As soon as I announce the answer, Grace, please go ahead and put the person's name. Who founded the first Nigerian Indigenous Women's Association in 1924, and what was it called? What was the association called? Going. Lady, okay. Can we skip? No, we're not skipping. Okay, 30 seconds. Please. Okay, I'll just say the answer now. It's Funmilayo Ransom Kuti. She founded the Abeokuta Ladies Club. That was what it was called. But it was later changed to the Nigerian Women's Union. So that was our first Indigenous Women's Association in Nigeria. Question 5. I think someone got the answer, but gave me only half response. So does that count? I don't think so. Okay, so name 2 African countries with female presidents presently. Name 2 African countries with female presidents presently. Fastest finger. Because that we can give him half recharge card. Okay, we'll think about that. Name 2 African countries with female presidents currently. African countries, I'm seeing New Zealand. Okay, Tanzania, that's half. Liberia, presently, like currently. 2, if you're giving me 1, you're wrong. We'll give you half recharge card like Miss O said. Okay, I'll just say the answer. The answer is Ethiopia and Tanzania. The next question. Next question, please. Which Nigerian woman holds the world record in 100 meters hurdles currently? Which Nigerian woman holds the world record in 100 meters hurdles currently? She trended a while ago, so it should be an easy one. So, Toby Amusa. Who else? Fastest finger. Segai staff, you are disqualified. The answer is Toby Amusa. I'm not giving it to Ruth. I think the second person should get it. Question 7.
Who is Nigeria's first female vice chancellor and of which university? Who is Nigeria's first female vice chancellor and of which university? Fastest finger, 30 seconds. Yeah, Peace. Okay, we're giving that to Peace. Peace. Well done. Who is Nigeria's first female vice chancellor and of which university? We don't have, do we have anybody responding to that question? Professor Grace Alele, University of Benin. Who else? Who else? Who else? Is she right? University of Benin, Professor Grace Alele, University of Benin. Okay, the answer is Professor Grace Alele, University of Benin. So the first person to get that gets that. So the next question, 92 women contested for the seats in the Senate. In this just concluded Nigerian elections. How many were declared? So we had 92 women who came out to contest for the seats of the Nigerian Senate. How many were declared winners? Someone said 2. Okay. Any other person? 4. Is 4 the answer? Going, gone. Okay, next question. The answer is 3, actually, 3 women. Next question, please. Which Nigerian woman founded Bring Back Our Girls campaign to demand the rescue of schoolgirls abducted by Boko Haram, and in what year? Remember the famous Bring Back Our Girls campaign? The Chibok girls. I don't even think they're all back now. So who founded that campaign and what year? Obi Ezekwesili. In what year? Is she right? Who else has the right answer? Obi, I just got only one. Patience Jonathan, 2015. Obi Ezekwesili, 2014. Going. Obi Ezekwesili in 2015. Gone. The answer is Obi Ezekwesili in 2014. Please, Madam Irene, is she not our guest speaker? I think she's
I think we should qualify her.
You oh my God. I'm just
repeating all the questions.
Oh my God.
Now.
But be careful how you disqualify.
Be careful how you disqualify our keynote speaker. You know, we need her to give the keynote address.
It's true. Well, yeah, but for this one, ma'am, just relax. We're coming down. Our last question. What percentage of Nigerian fintech companies have female chief executive officers? What percentage of Nigerian fintech companies have female chief executive officers? Fastest finger, going, 10%. Going, 10%. Okay, I have only one response to that. I'm going to give like 2, 3 more. 12%, nice. Okay, who else? We get 2 more responses, we just close this out. 6%, Okay, the answer is 6%, and we're done. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. This was fun. So if you got your answers, just check the chat box. Grace will compile the list of winners. Please send Grace or me. You can private chat us with your phone numbers for your recharge card. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Linda. Over.
Thank you so much, Queen. That was fun. Now we know a lot, and we also know we need to read up on equity and the position women hold in Nigeria. Congratulations to the winners. Fun fact, I invited Mo by 3 p.m. this afternoon when we're starting, and promptly he joined us, and he was the first male winner in this trivia. So that was quite interesting to watch. And one thing about women, we respect and we keep to time. So this event will not be different. I know we will like that. So we'll be keeping to time, I promise you. And remember to drop any questions or suggestions you may have on the chat box as we proceed with this event. And if you are just joining us and you are here to write your name, your location, and your favorite physical feature on the chat box, please do that. It's important. We would like to know more about you. And now, to introduce our amazing keynote speaker for this year's Purple Ball, I have the honor to invite our dearest Margaret Bolaji Adebola. She is the founder, Stand With a Girl Initiative. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Margaret, over to you.
Thank you, Linda. I mean, I've been having a lot of fun. Okay, so I had to go do this because I needed to, I mean, Onyinye and Madam Stephanie, you guys will pay me. I think, okay, I wouldn't say it was my wedding. That was like 5 years ago that I had something like this. I don't like tying scarf, but yes, it's purple and we're here. Okay, so I'll go straight into it. It's such a great pleasure for me, really, inviting, I call her Madam Irene Ugba, and she's an educator whose personal journey to get educated as a girl growing up, which I believe she might share today in rural Nigeria, has poured her passion and desire to ensure every child gets educated. Irene works extensively with national and subnational government agencies to review and advise on appropriate policy options and directions. She also works directly with school proprietors, K-12, and management on design and implementation of curriculum and instructions, as well as inclusive parent, teacher, and community education. I tell you, maybe she won't mention this, but I follow her a lot on Facebook. I've seen her give tips on how to not chase your child everywhere if you want to, just because you want to do assignments. Some of us, we think these things are not serious matter. They are. Okay, let's continue. She is the convener of annual Girls Conference to commemorate the United Nations International Day of the Girl Child, IDG. She is also an author and a public speaker who has spoken at Kaleidoscope Conference by the University of Cambridge, World Literacy Summit held at Oxford University, as well as testified before committees and appeared at panels on education. Irene holds an MSc in Education Planning and Management from Global Wealth University. She is a recipient of the Goldman Sachs 1000 Women Program, an avid reader, and a committed lifelong learner. Did you see that? She has attended several conferences and short courses on education, gender leadership, and community development. Irene works with individuals and organizations to design solutions that meet their educational needs. She's also an educational counselor as she provides knowledge and support to students. She is married and has 4 children. When Irene isn't working, she's either trying out new cooking recipe. O'Shea, I'll reach out to you after this. I mean, after the entire Purple Ball, watching sitcom or praying. It is my great pleasure to welcome Madam Irene.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bolaji. And you know, I like to call you Bolaji before Margaret. I don't know why. Thank you, Margaret. You know, we are colleagues in this matter. But the summary of what she has said is that I'm a teacher, you know, but you know, we like big English. You have to use educator, educational consultant, and all. It's such a pleasure to be here this evening. I want to thank you all. I want to thank especially Onyinye. Onyinye is so passionate about Nigeria that even when she was supposed to leave in 2019, Onyinye was looking for work in Nigeria, as in people are jackpotting to the abroad. Onyinye wanted to stay back. And then whenever I tell people about, people are like, are you sure she's okay? Are you sure her village people are not after her? And things like that. And Onyinye kept looking for a job to stay back in Nigeria, you know, and that tells you of her passion and commitment to Nigeria, to women, and the things that, you know, uplifts women. I want to also thank the co-organizer, Stephanie, the Jagaban of movie making, Champepe one of Nollywood. Thank you so much, girl. You are doing so much. We're so proud of you. Proud of the fact that you all try to lift up women, and that is what it's supposed to be. I also want to thank my co-speakers. Some I know personally, some I've followed their work, and then some I'm going to meet in the course of this conversation. And I hope we're going to forge a formidable network after now. I also want to recognize all the people who have put this together. Thank you so much. We are all here for one reason. How do we uplift the women and girls in Nigeria? I know you people gave me the topic, embrace equity. bridging the economic, political, and technology gaps for women, Nigerian women. But you know, because I'm a girl child advocate, I'm going to be adding girls to it, because we can't have women tomorrow if we do not bring up the girls of today. So you're going to pardon me, and I also have to beg you a second thing. Pardon me, I'm a teacher, so you know we start by defining concepts, because you know, as a teacher, we want you to understand what we are saying. We don't believe that you should say 2 + 2 when you don't know what 1 + 1 is. We don't believe that you should say a pronoun if you don't know what a noun is. You must know noun first before you graduate to knowing pronoun. So thank you so much. And as I delve into this topic right now, embrace equity. I had actually touched on, Onyinye sent me some questions that people asked, I believe, online. And she was saying if I could touch on that. And when I went through the questions, I discovered I had touched on them. When we say embrace equity, what do we mean? I think I have 20 minutes, right? Because I'm actually looking at the time so that I don't exceed my time too. You know, when we say, you know,
actually it's 10 minutes, but
oh, it's 10. Oh my God. Okay, let me rush it. Okay,
yes, thank you.
When we say embrace equity, you know, we use equity and equality interchangeably, and it's wrong, because equity is actually fairness. Equality is giving people the same thing. So let me say, for example, a room filled with women, and some politician comes there and says, I want to empower the women, or I want to make the women happy. Give them shoes, size 41 to every one of them. Give them equal shoes, and that could be size 41. I use size 41. I don't know if Stephanie uses size 41. I don't want to believe that. I don't think Onyinye uses. So you see that he has given us everything equally. He has given us size 41 shoe. But the truth is that it's very few of us that may be able to use that size 41 shoes. But when he or she goes out, the person is going to say, oh, I gave them equal things. So I believe in equality. I've given them what they want. I've given them what I feel should make them equal. I gave them size 41 shoes. But equity will be that there are women in that room. How many are they? Can you get their sizes? There are women who have size 41, who wear size 41. There are those who wear 37, 38. Give each woman the shoe that fits her. That is equity, fairness. Give each woman the shoe that fits her and that she can comfortably walk in. So it doesn't just mean the size 41 shoe. It will also mean the shoe that is, maybe some people don't like heels. And I'm using this very, very example to make you understand when we use that word equity and equality. So you see that I might get 41 shoe, but flat, because that is what I want. Some other person might get 41 shoe, but it's healing. And because that is what makes her walk well. Some other person will get size 37 and is open toe. So you can see that equity has played out there in the sense that everybody got what they needed to make them walk well, to make them, you know, good on their job, or make them look good, or just increase their self-esteem, as opposed to giving us the same thing. So equity has never been about giving us the same thing, but giving us what each person needs to be able to achieve their goal, to achieve their desire. So when we say embrace equity, we're saying that we're trying to make society understand that everyone comes from different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, and life did not start us all on the same pedestal. Some people had a better head start in life. Some people didn't have a good head start. Some actually didn't even go to school. They actually became, adults before they started. So we all have different backgrounds. However, embrace equity will mean that at what point do we make sure that everybody, irrespective of how they started life, is given that thing that they require? So I want us to understand this term so that in course of this conversation, because my job here is to set the stone, and as the conversation goes on, we begin to understand, so that when we abandon some of these words outside and they're saying embrace equity, you know that this is what embrace equity means. Now, when we look at the economic, how do we bridge this gap? How do we bridge? We know that the gender gap is widening. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Nigeria is still ranking, I think 139 or so, thereabouts, from 140 something countries of the world. I couldn't lay my hands on the very latest gender gap report. But as of 2019, Nigeria was still lacking, was still hovering between 134 to 136, and which is so poor. Then when we look at it, how do we bridge economic gap for the women, for the girls? And I will look at it from the education angle. We're still talking of in 2023, that we have over 18 point something million Nigerian children out of school. 60% of these children are girls, unfortunately, rather unfortunate. And we know that researchers have, of course, shown us that for each year a girl spends in school, her income increases to up to 25%. But this girl is out of school. That means we're also, if she was born on the same day that she is Mary, born the same day Ahmed was born, and she doesn't go to school, the gender gap is widening because she's not able to go to school to increase her value that will get her, you know, that will give her higher bargaining power to get better jobs, you know, add value to any organization and so on. Our girls in 2023, our girls are still being married off before their 18th birthdays, you know. So how, when a girl is married off before her 18th birthday, and then she goes and starts producing children, she's not going to school, she doesn't have skill, she's not employable, she becomes a mother at that age. How does she improve? How does she increase the economics? You see that we're still widening the economic gender gap. Then we're looking at also the fact that even in the workplace, for the same type of work, the same, I don't want to say the quantity or the same measure of work, men are being paid better than women. And these are the conversations we begin to look at. How do we embrace equity in all of this? And when we look at the political space, because of time I'm rushing, the political space is not encouraging. I mean, it's a sad period for women. It's a sad period for women in the Nigerian political space. We have just 3 female elected senators, like we just said. Now we have in the last one going out, there were 7. Actually, there were 8. Senator Rose Oko died, and you know, Cross River State Governor after all the gender meeting to make sure that the woman was used to replace her, he refused. So they became 7. And then in the House of Rep, I think there were about 11. So we had 19 women in Parliament, where you're talking of 420 something, I think 426 seats. We had only 19 women in the Parliament. Now is worse. The 10th Assembly coming in, we have only 3 female senators, and we have 100 out of 109. And the House of Rep, I think, I'm not even sure altogether. I don't think the House of Rep should be like 12 or so. Altogether, they're about 15. So you can see it has dropped, and it has been dropping since 2015, 2019, and now 2023. And then what does this tell us? Where these women try to make, if they bring up policies that will shape women, they will shut us down. Look at the case in point is the Gender Equality Bill. Look at how it suffered setback. Let's talk of shortly after 2019 election, I was among the people because I happen to be in 100 Women Lobby Group as an executive member, and we went into this think tank committee. How do we make sure that we have more women in power in political space come 2023? And right now, it looks as though we wasted our time. Because I wouldn't say so, because of course, we still use that paper for future. But the point is, after sitting down for that long, we strategized. You know, we even went ahead to go with Women in Politics Forum to go for to change the language of the Constitution. And that's why you heard, I don't know if some of you heard the Constitution we want. We ran it for some months, where we asked women groups, CSOs to come to the National Assembly and tell the National Assembly what constitution do we want as women. The language of the Constitution itself also was limiting. You had where they say, he that wants to run for president must be a man of impeccable character, must be a man of, so you could see that the Constitution itself stereotyped who should be the president of Nigeria and limited it to a man. And this was one of the languages we worked on, that this language has to change, that you don't say, you should say the person who has to occupy the office of the president should be a man or woman of so and so character. You know, and there were other things like that in the Constitution, saying that, making it look as though it was for the men. So that was done. Again, we ran for the 111 seats. And some of you would have seen how we went on protest. You know, I was actually pregnant then, how we were carrying placards. You know, even somebody was feeling sorry for me. I really, they throw you tear gas here with this your stomach, what will happen to you? But we were there carrying placards that we want 111 seats, you know, reserved for women. and it was a colossal disgrace. It was a colossal failure. These men slammed this thing down. After we tried to lobby Gbajabiamila, we did not make any headway. That thing was thrown out like a badly arranged pack of cards. And that has been our journey, you know, in this political space. And today we can say, okay, we have the first female governor, but not, let me correct this, she's not the first female governor, but the first female elected governor. Dame Vigi Etiaba was the first female governor when Mr. Peter Obi was impeached in 2016. So in 2006, rather, so she became the first female elected governor to occupy that post, while Peter Obi went to the court and later got a redress and came back and completed his mandate. So Aisha Binani is the first female elected governor we're having in Nigeria. It's not Uhuru for the Nigerian women, it's not for the girls. And then we're looking at ourselves, what do we do? How do we go back to the drawing board? I was in a program last week and I was speaking, and one of the women out of disappointment said, Irene, what do we do? How do we leverage on technology? You know, because we can't play this game the way the men are playing it. And it's also, I make this open for us as we go in this conversation. What do we do? What are we not getting right? Yes, we can't play it like the men. Then how do we play it so that come 2027, we're not still in this bagobada? You know, like Igbos will say, something goes up and comes down. But you know now, it's actually not even going up at all. It's just coming down. And when we look at the technology gap, we're looking at the fact that we are technologically challenged in some ways. Like Onyinye, you are there with that nice background. I've been trying to see if I could get that background. I haven't been able to. I think your secretary tried as well. You know, and then I think Stephanie said she couldn't as well. So we need to keep constant, we need to keep evolving when it comes to this technology. However, somebody showed me that she has done it. Okay, who is that now? Oh, that's great, clap for her, clap for her. That's good, Irene, that's my namesake. You know, we are smart like that. Don't mind me, I'll get mine very soon too, you know. So how do we bridge the digital gap? Especially, you know, in 2023, where some women, you know, even in the political offices, they can't even operate their devices by themselves. They have PAs who must operate their devices. If you can't operate the devices, you get into the National Assembly, you have gadgets for all some of these things. Some people have technology phobia. And you know, we have made technology in our mind to look like a masculine thing. We've made it look as if, forgetting that even history has told us that a lot of women invented things over the years in the earliest century, but they were either forced to give up their invention or to pass it off to men, that it was men that invented them. Some were driven out of medical school, and you heard the story of the woman who disguised, you know, just because she wanted to study medicine. So over the years, it's not like women have not been at the forefront of this, but because again, the men, you know, or the patriarchy, I don't like to use the word, the patriarchal system, you know, have made women, limited us, and then it looked as though we don't know these things. And then when it comes to now, even with that, we look at it, when you look at the gender gap in science education, which is the one widening the technological gap. If you look at the JAMB gender disparity that was released recently, the number of girls going in for theater arts, going in for government, and what is the other course, sociology and so on, it trumps up the ones that are going in for medicine, going in for engineering and so on. And then we need to rise up to the occasion to tell our girls, need to propel them towards science education. And because I'm an educator, I see what plays out. When girls are in their primary school, they top the classes. They top the classes in maths, they top the classes in basic science. By the time they're getting into JS3, they're also topping the class. But once they get to SS1, I don't know how these girls just decide. You now see a girl who was so good in maths and all, she'll tell you it is hard. The next thing she'll tell you, I don't even mind if I become a makeup artist. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those courses are wrong, but what I'm saying is we need to make sure that we're pushing our girls rightly, especially the ones that are bright enough for STEM education, because we cannot have a country where we do not have girls who are doctors, we don't have girls who are in the gynae. Some religion do not even allow men touch them, you know, and then you now have the few female doctors there are already overworked. And then, of course, the Japa syndrome is also there, you know, so we need to encourage our girls in engineering, in science. My daughter she's actually a first-class brain. And then after a while, my daughter wanted to sleep. And I realized that same thing, that girls after a while, they want to. So we need to have role models for girls. Could it be that if we have more science teachers who are females, that these girls will take it up? Because I know my daughter loves her math teacher, who is a female, and she'll tell you she teaches well. How do we get more female teachers to be in the sciences so that we can actually increase the number of girls who go into science, which eventually will help us get into artificial intelligence, help us get into the digital space? I think I have actually overshot my time, but I just want to, these are all thoughts. These are conversations I want us to have and see how do we move from here. So my job is to lay this out for us, and then we now push it from there. Thank you so much. Thank you again. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, dear keynote speaker. Listening to you was, you brought home the point. Thank you so much for the needed education on equity, embracing the concept and the gaps and possible solutions, especially in the Nigerian context. The illustrations you gave were totally relatable and drove home points. Thank you. Thank you. So I know some of us might have some questions for her or even contributions. Please feel free to unmute your microphone or write on the chat box so that she can attend to your questions now. We have just a few minutes for that, please.
Linda, please, let's see them come on live. We want to see their faces. Please, if you have a question, turn on your video. Let's see your face.
You know
please.
That Stephanie is a movie maker. I've told you, Jagaban of movie making. They must see you. How can you be acting movie they are not seeing?
All right. So, any questions? Is there any question on our chat box? Okay, I can't see.
Is up. Owen Zach's hand is up. Or the emoji is up.
Okay, somehow I can't see it. Please, you can unmute yourself and speak.
All right. Thank you so much, Irene, for that wonderful presentation. It was really exhilarating. But you talked about women. I can still remember that much. The work where women were demanding for a number of seats in the National Assembly. And I can still remember to some extent I was part of the movement with my boss, Dr. Lars, then. So one thing I want to ask, because you know what they say, power is did they say power is given or power is taken? So power I don't know. Power is taken. Okay. So now if women, right, because this movement that held, I think last year, is the movement where women want power to be given instead of them to take the power, right? So would you really say that is equity? Thank you.
Okay, if I get you right, if we go and take power.
No, what because what women are doing, they are demanding for a specific number of seats in the National Assembly, right? That's what they are demanding for.
Oh, no, don't kill them now. So we have left that one. So now, what we're doing now is strategy. One of the strategy, and I didn't mention that, is this. We need to now go the legal way. Now, one of the things we're looking at is affirmative action, but affirmative action that is backed up by the law. So that, because affirmative action in itself is not bad, affirmative action just shows that there is some disadvantaged groups and we must do something. The same way we have what we call educationally backward states in Nigeria, and when we give them quota for their maybe JAMB cutoff and things like that, we reduce because we want more number of them to get into the federal government colleges and get into the university. Because if we don't do it that way, they wouldn't get there. So it is not wrong, but what we need now is affirmative action that is backed up by the law, where we say, okay, there is a law right now that so number of women should make it to so seats, not the one of who were campaigning with our first lady before. Come see, affirmative action. If the president likes, he gives us. If he doesn't like, not be led by whether the president likes it or not. Once it's backed by law, that is what we should be going for. That's part of the strategy we should be going for now.
Okay, that's cool, because like I was just stressing, it's kind of somehow like, because Yeah, we've been in the, like me personally, I've been in the gender space for a while now, and I'm really, really interested in issues around gender. People always look at me like, hey, you are a man and you're talking about gender. Even women, the way there's a way they look at me most times, right? But it is something that we have to keep talking about. But for me, I'm looking at where you were stressing your point around equality and equity. So if we have to kind of create a balance in this space and making some of this demand we are making, so that we know that this is an equitable society we are really looking out for. Thank you.
So the equity there will be that you know, the new government comes into power and they say, oh, we want to be fair to women because women have been disadvantaged. Do we give them social? So now we have lost politically. Can we make it up with appointed positions? That would be fairness.
Okay.
Now, okay, we give women secretary to government of federation, we give women chairperson of FIRS, we give women because they have lost power when it comes to the elected positions. That would be fairness.
Yeah, that's it. That's true. That's true. All right. Thank you. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, someone's hand is up here. Yusuf Najat.
Okay, hello, Ma. Thank you very much for that, Ma, even though I missed out on some parts due to network failure. Okay, so my question is this. Is equity the same thing as equality?
Okay,
the
no.
reason
Okay,
for
maybe you
in
missed...
one of the courses.
Okay, you can go
Can
on.
I continue, ma'am?
Yeah,
Okay.
continue.
In one of the courses we did at school, we were made to believe that equity in the real sense of it means treating the equal equally and treating the unequal unequally. I mean, there is this lecturer that would always like argue that with us in classroom. So my question is, okay, when we're talking about treating the equal equally, it was like emphasizing on the fact that the men are to be treated equally, not like men and women. Are men and women the same thing? I mean, that is how we always like prove it to us anyways. So I just want to, like, he's always like of the opinion that men and women are not entirely the same thing, and as such cannot be like treated equally. For him, he meant to say that equity means treating the equals equally and treating the unequal unequally, respectively. So I just want to know, like, does equity, when we're talking about fairness, like, is it perhaps still like emphasizing equality? I mean, a lot of people do say that equity is not the same as equality, equality is not the same as equity. Can we still like divine equity to mean equality? That is my question, ma.
Okay.
We have just 3 minutes left for this session.
So Najat, I just want to encourage you to leave that English, the big grammar, you know, you don't go to Renchi. I just, you know, maybe because I'm a teacher, so I just look for simple things to make people understand. Now, what is equality? Najat, you live in your house. Maybe you have 3 children, and then you come in. I'm just saying, I'm not saying you have 3 children. You come in and you decide that everybody is drinking pap this morning. You know, and maybe there's one that is allergic to pap. Just say, give them one bowl of pap now. That's equality. You've given all of them a bowl of pap. Both the one that is 3 months old that is supposed to be drinking formula milk, and the one that is 7 years old that is allergic to this thing, and then the one that will eventually drink it. But you've given all of them. When you come out, you come and even boast, I gave everybody equal pap today to drink. However, equity will be that, oh, this one has allergy to pap, please give her Quaker oats. This is 3 months old. What she needs is infant formula. You give her infant formula. And then this one can take. So you give them what is that thing that is needed for them to succeed. What is equity is just giving people what they need. I cannot go to Canada that is very cold now. And I say I want to empower them. I give everybody. Sorry, I cannot go to Zamfara that is very hot and give everybody winter coats right now. I say, you know, we just empower them in Zamfara community to give everybody winter coats to wear. That is not, you're not doing it. It's not what they need. What do they need? What will make them? So what we're saying is for women, what do we need? What will make us work well? If I give you size 42 shoe and give everybody size 42 shoe, you Najat, and you don't wear 42, I've done an equal service. But however, it is not equity because you don't wear size 42 and some other persons in that room do not wear size 42. And for your lecturer.
I love that.
Thank you. And for your lecturer, see, I tell people, we are men and women, When people come to those arguments, we have been socialized, and even us women, we've been socialized to believe that women cannot lead. I've seen women who will tell me presently on Facebook that a woman is not qualified to be the president of Nigeria. Please just don't get angry with them, only sympathize with them. Because you see, they've been socialized that way. They've been socialized to think that women cannot lead, women cannot take up position. In the faith base, when you marry, yes, your husband is your head. But outside that institution, your husband cannot be a driver in an organization where the MD is a woman and he wants to head the MD because he's a man. What kind of heading is that? He has to fall into space, you know, that this is my boss here. So I want to say that women do away with that sociology that women cannot lead, that women cannot be president, do away with it. And then this unequal, this thing we put on women. Women come out for political office, the first thing say, oh, she's a single mother, she has divorced. Nobody says so to women, to men. So we kind of raise the bar high for our fellow women and say, hey, but you know, she left her husband 5 years ago. Hey, do you think she can lead us well? But a man has married serial monogamy for the past 5 years. Nobody's talking about it. So we shouldn't, let's look at it, and then let's also not be suspicious of each other. Let's believe that when a woman is coming out, that this woman can lead, not to say that, no, I don't think she has a master's in so. How many men, do men even have such conversation? They don't. So we should encourage our women. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And for the interesting questions. I like what the person that asked the question earlier said. He said he's always people always find it weird when he's taking part in gender conversations. And yes, gender is not only for women, both men and women to talk about gender issues. Thank you so very much. Please, our time is fast spent, and we would like to quickly take some group photographs. So I would like to kindly ask that you all switch on your video so we can see your beautiful faces, and don't forget your smile. Don't forget your smile so that we can take some pictures real fast.
Linda, please, I saw a man raising up his hand, and I think this is sensitive. If you can have him say something, I don't know whether it's a question, but I saw a man's hand up.
Hand up, okay, Charles Call. All right, Charles, very quickly, please. Are you there, Charles? Are you there, Charles?
Hello. So sorry. Okay. I was actually driving, so later driving. So just to touch briefly on what Mrs. Irene Uba has said, I think that's amazing, you know, and but it comes back to one thing. I think you touched on very, very pivotal issues there. Talked about technology and the involvement of women in technology, STEM subjects, etc., etc. But see, as you come back to the home, the mother, I mean, we sometimes blame, you know, the patriarchal of society or communities that we actually come from, traditional culture, indoctrination, socialization. But as you come down to the mother, because the strength of the mother within an African context, in the Nigerian context, is so powerful. Sometimes it actually baffles me that women are actually not being taking the lead in terms of bringing up, you know, children in a more equitable, you know, way, not equal, but I think I use the word equitable as opposed to equality. And so does it really come back down to the mother? Going back, another question I wanted to ask you was actually in terms of having backing up what we say with figures, statistics. Because I actually went online, you know, today to actually search the disparity between children, our children, the boys and the girls. And I couldn't find in terms of how many children are actually involved in STEM technology, at what time, at what period in their lives do they diverge? Do they diverge because of cultural differences? Do they diverge because of neural systems, you know, their brains wiring and so on and so forth. So we need to actually, if we're going to fight this fight, and it's a worthwhile fight, but we're going to have to really fight it with knowledge, with data, with statistics. And that's where I think, you know, the gap exists there, because knowledge is just very, very arbitrary knowledge that exists out there. When you want to look at the statistics, they do not exist in the Nigerian context. And I think that's really something that particularly teachers such as you can actually encourage and and let's start having figures. Let's start talking about figures, and then progress can be made and quantified. So I just wanted to mention that, but I really enjoyed that, your talk.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wasn't even sure. Sorry. I'm driving. I'm on the road, so I'm a little bit discombobulated, disorganized, so to speak.
We heard you. We heard you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think Linda, are you there?
Yes, I think the first comment sounds like more like a contribution on the role women play in ensuring equity eventually, and not suppressing and instilling that patriarchal behavior on their daughters, so that when they grow up, they know they can actually attain to these heights. Madam Irene, are you there? Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. The second one, I didn't get the first one, but he was asking about statistics. There are data to back this up. If you go online, for instance, the one of JAM, every year JAM releases an aggregate and then a disaggregated score of the number of boys or males that get into higher institution going in for science, and the ones that are going for other subjects. So they are online there. You can always get them on JAM. Any data you want to get, you might not get Nigerian data perfectly, but when it comes to gender gap data, you can always get them from UN Women. You can get them from UNESCO and so on online. But for this JAM own, it's actually on the JAM. They have their aggregate scores, and they always separate number of girls and number of boys going in for each social science or sciences.
Thank you so much for that response. For the questions asked, thank you for participating fully. So very quickly, I would like us to take a group photograph, and I will kindly ask us to switch on our videos so we can capture our beautiful faces, our touch of purple outfits. If you're not wearing a touch of purple, it's fine. It's not a crime. It's fine, really. We just want to see a beautiful smile on your face, and we just do this. Onyinye, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right. So are we all ready? Cameras turning on? Okay, I'm giving some people a few. Oh my goodness, look at your lovely faces. Wow. This is great. This is great. Okay. I'm giving somebody else a few seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to count down purple. So at the end of E, because I see some people also trickling in and maneuvering their video, trying to make sure the makeup is on right and the hair. All right. Okay. P, U, R, P. You can also see if I know how to spell. L, E, purple. Hold it, hold it. That's one. Hold on. There are like 3 screens I need to look at. Make sure everybody's captured. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. Just to make sure everybody gets in. In 3, 2, 1. All right. I love seeing the faces, especially the 3 gentlemen, Mo, Charles, and Onwe. But of course, my women, I always love to see your faces. And for those of us that can keep, oh, Faith, I'm loving that purple. Oh my goodness, I feel like I need to spotlight this. Faith, please, can you come back on? I don't know if you guys see Faith and her purple. It's like she deserves a recharge card. Here we go. Let me spotlight her for everyone. Hi. Ooh. All right. No. Okay, who else did I see? What did you say? When I saw it, oh, Chidinma, you're looking beautiful. Okay, I'm going to spotlight Chidinma right now. As I see you, I'm going to spotlight you. All right. Chidinma, good to see you. Chidinma is one of our alums. Great. Okay. Who else? Okay, back to you, Linda.
Thank you everyone for obliging us. We appreciate. So now to take us to the session I've been most excited about, the mentorship roundtable, where we get to listen to these remarkable women dish out knowledge on some vital topics that pertains to women, of course, and I would like to invite our moderator, the super smart Sheyi Bolaji. Sheyi Bolaji is the communication strategist at Stand With a Girl initiative. You have the floor, Sheyi.
Hello, Purple Ballers. If you can hear me, please let me know. Apologies, I won't be able to turn on my camera because my network is so bad and I don't want that to affect it. So if you can hear me, please let me know. I've been praying that my network would just be so good. But then I like to call everyone here. Okay, thank you. So thank you so much, Purple Ballers. And yes, I hope we're going to do this together. So yeah, it's time for our mentorship roundtable. And I tell you, we have amazing, wonderful women that, would be answering questions here. And before the end of this, first is you're going to fall in love with them. You're going to fall in love with what they do and everything you're going to hear them say. So quickly, I would like to have our mentors introduce themselves one after the other, and we'll also go into, the session so they get to answer the question. So first up, I've been seeing their, their pictures, or is it amazing faces from the beginning. So in 1 minute, now they're going to introduce themselves. They will tell us, and please, if you're a rich woman, tell us. If you're a billionaire, don't cut it short. Give us the full gist, but then in 1 minute so that we get all the details. So first, we're going to have Elizabeth Williams. So let's have you introduce yourself to us in 1 minute. Tell us all the amazing things that you do in 1 minute. This is also a challenge. Let's go.
Woo! Welcome, Elizabeth. Ideally, we would have music to introduce you, but I feel like because we're running out of time, we'll just let the speakers come on. Elizabeth, you're on. I think you're muted.
Elizabeth, can you hear me? You need to unmute. Okay, so while we're still waiting for Elizabeth, we'll move on to Sadia Ocheklie. Sadia, let's have you introduce yourself and the amazing things that you do in 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Sheyi. So good evening to everyone. Like Sheyi said, my name is Halimatu Sadia Ocheklie. I'm a lawyer and I'm a program manager. I'm very passionate about women's rights. Of course, that's why I'm here today. And I can't wait to share, and I've learned so much. So thank you so much. I feel like that's enough.
Okay, thank you so much, Sadia. Even though you didn't give us full details, but I'm sure it will come in when you begin to talk about your work. So next, we're going to have Miss Funke Adeoye. I used to, and I still hire her on social media. It's finally good to get to see her. So can we have her tell us in 1 minute the beautiful things that she does and who she is? Yes, Miss Funke Adeoye, over to you.
Sorry. Hi. Good day, everyone. I wasn't sure. I didn't know you had called me already. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Funke Adeoye. I am a lawyer and I am also like a social entrepreneur, and I work around issues of human rights and criminal justice and also legal tech. I am the founder of Hope Behind Bars Africa, and what we do is we are reforming the criminal justice system using legal aid, technology, and evidence-based advocacy. And we also have like a legal tech product in the market that is aiming to close the justice. And of course, I'm very passionate about women's rights. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Funke, for that introduction. So next we'll go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you there? Can you tell us who you are and what you do in 1 minute? Elizabeth, can you hear me? Okay, so while we're waiting for Elizabeth, I don't know if Mrs. Progress is around. If Mrs. Progress is around. If she's in here, then we'll take the... Okay, so Elizabeth would be joining us soon, and I believe Mrs. Progress would also be joining us. One of our mentors is unavoidably absent, yes. So we'll just go into it quickly, and once we have others, they get to introduce themselves as we continue. So It's about time. I'm sure you all have been waiting for this, and I really know that you can't wait to hear from our mentors what they have for us. So, Sadia, I would start with you. Sadia, can you kindly share defining moments in your career path? If you can do this in 1 minute, that would be amazing. Just share with us defining moments in your career path. Just tell us what it is. We really want to know. We're interested in knowing what it is. Yes, Sadia, over to you.
I can't say I have a defining moment. I think that for me, from the time I was probably 3 years old, apparently my parents claimed that I was such an advocate. I said I wanted to be a lawyer, and from then it was go, go, go for me. But I think that a moment that really spoke to me was in 2020, I volunteered with Stand With a Girl initiative, and I saw the policy work that they were doing and the fact that they were able to change the lives of people at the community level, people that would ordinarily be kind of, will I say, forgotten. And that for me was a moment of clarity as to what I wanted to do and the kind of impact that I wanted to make. And so I would say that actually volunteering with SWAG was a huge moment in defining that, okay, yes, I've always wanted to serve humanity, but this was a part that I could take in doing it and seeing real impact. I hope that answers that.
Yes, really, Sadia. Thank you so much for that. And I must say, you look beautiful and you give beautiful response. I like that. Next, we're going to Miss Funke Adeoye. I like your wig too. I could collect it after now, but for now, we'll just focus on why we're here. So yes, and you're going to answer the same question as well. What would you say, or can you kindly share the defining moments in your career path with us? Amazingly, Sadia and Miss Funke are both lawyers. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay, so just like Sadia, I don't know which of them to mention, but I do have one particular defining moment for me. And because of the time is short, I think I'll just head on straight to it. So it's in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So before 2018, I've always had the passion for prison work, for criminal justice work, for human rights and all of that. I'd always volunteered in different organizations, I'd worked and all of that. But I didn't think the time was perfect for me to start my own thing until I had a life issue that happened in 2018. And I think it's good for me to talk about it because it's a women's event, and it had to do with me being a woman. I lost a child. I lost a child sometime in March 2018, and the circumstances behind losing the child had to do with the lapse in the government, in the way the health sector and all of that. And as the lawyer that I was enraged. I was grieving and all the emotions, and I wanted to, I thought I was going to sue and all of that. But at the time, I didn't have money to sue. And because I'm a person of faith at the time, of course, I'm still a person of faith, but because I'm a person of faith, I went back to my faith, and, it was just strong that all the emotions I was feeling at the time, it's time to channel it into purpose. So that incident happened in March 2018. I started my organization 2 months later. So I would always refer to the fact that, if that hadn't happened, it felt like I lost a baby, yes, but then, I bet another baby, through my organization. So yeah, that's a very strong defining moment for me in my career.
Oh, that's sad to learn about. And yeah, I don't have the right word, but I would say sorry about that. But thank you for sharing your experience with us, Mrs. Funke. So next we are going to have Elizabeth, if Elizabeth is ready. Yes, Elizabeth, can you hear me? If you're on, please just first you tell us your name and what you do, and you answer the first question.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. We can see you now.
Yeah,
thank you for
thanks,
joining, and sorry.
Sorry, I had a family
Not a
emergency I had to
problem.
attend to. Okay. All right. So nice to be here. My name is Elizabeth Alat Williams, and I am the founder and the executive director of Sustainable Impact and Development Initiative. This is a youth-led nonprofit that works to provide access to sexual and reproductive health information and services for adolescents and young people in Nigeria, particularly in marginalized communities. That's like our target population. So I'll just go straight to answering the question. So talking about defining moments in my career, I would definitely say that every moment in my career was a defining moment, and that's because every moment in your career kind of like leads to you becoming who it is that you become or who it is that you are. So really, all the moments in my career definitely are defining. But the one that I would definitely say or mention is the one that literally, I would say, skyrocketed me into where I am today and how I kind of found my passion for the work that I currently do in my organization and even with other organizations that I work with or have worked for. So I was a part of a group called the Youth Skills Development Program. It's a program that is run by a youth-led, a non-profit organization in Nigeria. It's called Action Not Incorporated. That's where I also got to know Ms. Oyi Ede as well. So it's a non-profit that engages young people after they're done with their secondary school education, where they get to work in the organization as a youth programs assistant. And I remember at the time, I just finished my secondary school education. I was not really sure. I think I was sure. I thought I wanted to do accounting at the time. That was what my goal looked like at the time. But I got to realize while working in that organization under that program that I actually had a different passion, a different flair for what I wanted to do. But more importantly, tying it to mentorship or mentoring. The executive director of the organization at the time, identified this unique gifts or talent, or passion that I had, and gave me the support I needed to be able to excel in my chosen career. And so while I worked with them for a year, I was nominated to be part of an advisory board called the Girls Engagement Advisory Board by, and the board was, a board that had about 10 young people from different parts of the world being a part of that. And because the executive director at the time nominated me for that particular opportunity or platform, I got to get, major exposure into the international development space and had my first speaking engagement at the international level because of that opportunity. And of course, I got to also learn a lot about the development sector that today I am still using in my chosen career path. So I think for me, that's like a defining moment in my career because that's how my work in the development space started. That's how I got to get introduced into the international development scene. And that particular opportunity opened numerous and several doors for me. So I definitely would say that mentorship has always played a huge role or impact in my career journey right from the very beginning. So I'll just stop there. Thanks, Shay.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. That's a lot of wow moments, all through this. Thank you for sharing. So quickly, we'll just move to the next question, and I'm going to start with Sadia. And I hope everyone is enjoying this and taking notes of all of this. I mean, it's just really good to hear all of this. So the second question that I would like to ask, and I would start with Sadia, is what skill do Nigerian women need to have to succeed domestically and globally? So in 2 minutes, yes. So we just go Sadia and then we'll go to Mrs. Funke and Elizabeth. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shay. I would say that the major skill we need is grit. We as a people, women are very talented, women are very intelligent, and they can fill up spaces. But then we can see that there's always pushback when women try to pursue, whether it's politically, whether it comes with education. Earlier on, our keynote speaker was talking about how, even at the educational level, there are not enough girls who are in school, that 60% of out of school children are girls. And it shows us that women are majorly sidelined when it comes to the matters that affects them. And for me, I think that a skill that women have to have in a world that is kind of positioned against them is that skill set of, will I say, resilience. That's the grit, that we have to have that mindset that irrespective of what has come our way, what is hindering us, we have to push forward and push for women like ourselves. So for me, I feel like that's a major skill set. Of course, with the basics when it comes to literacy, numeracy, life skills, those things are very important. But for a woman who wants to pave her way in this world, to actually make impact and to change the way things are, she has to have that grit to pursue, irrespective of whatever resistance, whatever issue, whatever obstacle that comes her way. So I think that one of the major things that women must have in a world that is set against them to a great extent is that they must have the grit to stand and play the long game for their own good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadia. And thank you for the reminder. Maybe when we're talking about skills, we won't really talk about resilience as being one. And today you've just reminded us that it's one of it. Thank you so much. So next would go to Mrs. Funke. And yes, so what skills do you feel women need to have to be able to, to be able to compete globally and, domestically and globally?
Okay, yeah, so thank you. So I would say that women actually need lots of skills to succeed domestically and globally. But one skill that I think really stands out for me and which I've seen play a major role in my work and in my life would be strong interpersonal skills. So by strong interpersonal skills, I'm talking about strong networking skills. I'm talking about strong communication skills. I'm talking about, everything that has to do with relating with the other person. Now, as women, it might seem like that comes very easily for us in our day-to-day personal lives, right? But when we're talking about women in business, women in politics, women as leaders up there, at times it's very, very easy for us due to our let's say insecurity, due to issues of imposter syndrome and all of that, to shrink ourselves. So you would often see when you go for meetings, for instance, high-level meeting, even though you as a woman, you know that you deserve the seat on this table, but it's very easy for you to go for such, meetings, and then, you're waiting for the guy that is in the meeting to speak, or you're not quick to raise up your hands and all of that. So it's very, very important that we see that this is a major skill that we need to succeed in the world, because we're in a world of men and not a world of animals, right? And so people need to hear our voices. People need to know what we know. It's not enough to have all those things up in your head and you're like, oh, let the other person speak. It's also because of the way most of us, we were brought up to be conservative. You don't want to show yourself. You don't want to be out there, right? It's also very easy for you to just shrink yourself and say, oh, okay, I don't need to speak. So it's important that we understand that the other person needs to hear that we have what we have this thing, in there, and we can also put it out there. And another thing I would say closely related to that is we can have those skills, but we don't use them. And we don't know that when we don't use them, it's to our disadvantage, right? And so I'm not even just saying when you go out there or when you're in meetings, I'm also saying how we project ourselves on social media, how we project ourselves out there. I'm also speaking to myself. This is something that I know is important, and what it's at times we get so busy with work that we forget the need to connect and communicate the impact of our work, the necessity of our work. When we go for meetings, we forget the need to network, sell ourselves. I'm just coming from a meeting, and this young woman was saying she sells affirmation cards, and then she was saying beautiful stuff about affirmation and why positive affirmation is good for about 20 minutes. And then she finished, and she did not let us know that she actually sells affirmation cards. And someone had to say, but you do sell this thing. Why are you not telling us? Why are you not marketing yourself? Right. And, I could see myself in her, because it's so easy for you to go, you say everything, but then you're not actually selling what you have or what you have upstairs. So basically, I would say that, and this matters, not just in Nigeria, but when you travel, when you go for events outside globally, it's important that we know the needs for these interpersonal skills and we actually do use them. So yeah, that's my response to that question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Funke. I got that strong interpersonal skill. That's very important. So up next, we'll have Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, in 2 minutes, could you tell us what skills women need to have to be able to compete domestically and globally?
I think at this point, I'm not sure I want to say anything else. I feel like Funke literally said everything I wanted to say, because I was like, when she was just talking, I was like, did you see my notes? Like, can you see my notes?
Please repeat. We need to hear it over and over again. Preach. Just keep preaching to us.
All right. But thanks a lot, Funke. And the speaker who spoke before you as well. Like, you literally summarized a lot of the things I wanted to say. But yeah, I think first and foremost, networking skills is extremely important, especially in, whatever career path that you're taking. right? I already made mention when I introduced myself earlier that I got to know Onyinye through an organization that I worked with at the time. And 7 years down the line, right, I'm here today on a different platform, speaking, right? That's networking. But I'll just go a step further to say communication and follow up. So it's not enough for you to network with somebody. It's not enough for you to see somebody and talk to the person and introduce yourself and say, oh, I do ABC, XYZ. But how do you ensure that you follow up with those people? How do you ensure that you let them know that these are the things that you're still doing and the things that you're still involved with? I'll give you an example. For some of my mentors that I've had for quite a long period of time, I always give them when there's a major milestone in my life or something that has happened, I send them an email letting them know that, oh, I'm doing this, or I've gotten this, or I was recognized as this, or I got a scholarship, or whatever it is. Whatever it is that's happening, doesn't matter how small that win or achievement is. Because sometimes people think your achievements and wins have to be some things that are really big. You got a job, you got invited to speak somewhere, anything it is at all, let them know. Right? What you're simply doing is you're kind of like creating this digital footprint with them, such that when you now need them to help you with something, right? There's a higher tendency for them to want to support you, for them to want to, mentor you, or for them to want to even do that thing for you, because you have carried them along through your journey, right? As opposed to when, they support you and then you just disappear and you're nowhere to be found. And then when you need them again, all of a sudden you appear or you reappear and then you're expecting them to do ABC, XYZ for you. It's going to be really difficult because they can't really speak to what you've done over a period of time, right? They can only speak to what you did at the time where they met you, at the time where they knew you. So that's really difficult. So your networking skills, important, but make sure that as you're networking and you're creating those relationships, you're maintaining them, you're growing them, and you're sustaining them. Extremely important. The second thing I would say is visibility. Funke mentioned this. Please, young people, don't be shy to shoot your shots. Don't be shy to loud your trumpet. So I get this question a lot from a lot of young people that, are trying to build their careers. And this question usually goes like this. I'm a very private person. I don't like to put the things I do out there. I feel like, when you're shouting, talking about the things you're doing, it's as if you're intimidating other people, or you're making people feel like they're not doing enough or they're not achieving. One thing you need to realize and understand is that your career is your career. It is not everybody's career. It is your own career, right? And whatever it is you're doing, it's about you. Your growth is personal. Your career is personal. And so when you're putting yourself out there, you're not putting it out there to spite anybody. You're simply putting yourself out there. You're appreciating your own growth. And you're letting people see that these are the things that you do, these are the things that you've done, this is how far you have gone, this is how far you have come, right? If you don't have a footprint, it's really difficult for people to be able to trust in your capacity or your ability to deliver on the things that you claim or say that you can do, right? And so it's important that you leverage on, social media platforms, WhatsApp groups that you belong to. Some of us are in like 20 WhatsApp groups, and in those WhatsApp groups, nobody knows who you are or what you do. Right? Some of us belong to several fellowships, and in those fellowships, you just join the fellowship starts, the fellowship ends, nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what you can do, right? So it goes beyond social media platforms. Yes, social media platforms are your personal pages that you can use, but also leverage on existing platforms that you belong to, right? Those WhatsApp groups you belong to. Trust me, if you are somebody who put yourself out there, people would see you as somebody when opportunities come, they will call you because they've seen that you're able to do the things that you say you can do, right? Really, really important. The final thing that I would say is confidence. Low self-esteem and imposter syndrome has killed a lot of dreams, has killed a lot of careers, it has killed a lot of things, right? And I'll give you a very good example. A friend of mine who I really respect, she's amazing. She's doing amazing work. She got, to the interview stage of a prestigious scholarship, the Chevening Scholarship. And while I was preparing her for the mock interview, she was really worried. She felt like she didn't deserve it. She felt like she didn't stand a chance. This is somebody who has done tremendous work in the development space for quite a period of time. But at that point in time, she needed some form of reaffirmation or reconfirmation. And that's why it's important that when you're going through those moments of doubt or those moments where you feel like you're not going to, trust me, we all go through it. I still go through it. I'm not talking based on it's something that is far away from me. It's not. It's a daily battle I have to fight. So it's something that happens even to the best of us. It's a constant struggle. You have to keep telling yourself that you deserve the things that you get. You have to keep telling yourself that you are more than enough. You have to keep telling yourself that you can do it. You know, even when there's a voice in your head telling you that you cannot do it, you do not deserve it. But you have to keep reminding yourself, you know, positive affirmations, as Funke mentioned, but you have to keep reminding yourself that you can do it. You know, even when everybody is saying you cannot do it, tell yourself that you can do it. So confidence is extremely important, because even when people give you opportunities, if you do not have that confidence in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, you will not make the most out of those opportunities. You will not seek out those opportunities. You will not seek out, you know, you won't seek out people that can support you or help. Even when people are not giving you the support, you will not accept the support. You will not appreciate the support. You will not use the support to your advantage because you feel like you do not even deserve it in the first place. So it's actually important as women, girls, young women, young people that are trying to, you know, find our paths in our careers, that we exude confidence anywhere we find ourselves. Always exude confidence anywhere you find yourself. It's extremely important. So I'll stop here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth. So I was wondering if you didn't have to talk, because you said, you know, Mrs. Funke has said everything. That's powerful. I really like how that our mentors are taking us through this, and really amazing. You people are taking us to where we really want to go. And so that leads to our next question, which is on mentorship. So what role has mentorship played in your life or your career goal? I'm going to start with Sadia. And this time around, let's do this in 1 minute. So we've been saying a lot of amazing things, and I'm sure that, my fellow Purple Ballers are taking notes. Yeah, I see your comments as much as you can. The best way to follow through is to keep dropping anything you get in the chat box. So let's have that as they speak. Sadia, over to you. What role has mentorship played in your career?
All right, thank you so much, Shay. For me, one of the key roles that it had actually played for me is kind of like she just said, reaffirming to me that I can do things. So it kind of has built my confidence to actually pursue the things that I believe in. Mentorship has been able to clarify for me, oh, this is a path. So I'm someone who is naturally, I would say that I'm naturally good at a lot of things. And it's easy for me to feel like, oh, I should dabble in this, dabble in that, do this or do that, because it's easy to just pick up and go along with it. But mentorship has been able to help me to see, okay, this is good, but is it good for right now? Is this in line with where you see yourself in the next 10 years? Is this in line with who you want to become? So yes, you can pick this up and you can be good at it, but does this align with where you're going, with who you want to be? And so for me, this has been the major thing that mentorship has done, having somebody that you can share and learn from and can help you even understand that, yes, there are many paths to take, but what is the path that is right for you? What is the path you need to take for the person you need to be? And so for me, that is the major thing that it has helped me do, kind of streamline the path that I need to take, understand myself, and actually work in that confidence to become the woman that I actually can be and want to be. Thank you.
Absolutely, Sadia. Thank you so much for sharing so quickly. Now we have to run as fast as we can because of our time. So Ms. Funke, over to you right now. If you want to share with us what role mentorship has played in your life or your career.
Okay. So mentorship has been very crucial to my career progression. I always say that you go faster when you stand on the shoulder of giants. So, and there's this other saying that it's only a fool that waits to learn from his own mistake. It's just better to learn from the mistakes of others. All through my life, even from my school days and all of that, I've always just had people that I look up to in certain areas of their life, and specifically in my work, right? I think it was Elizabeth that was talking about confidence. I really love your point on confidence. I personally believe that some people are naturally just out there and confident, while some people always need that affirmation, and they need people who have gone ahead of them to tell them that, you know what, you're doing well. You may have not solved all the problem in the world, but trust me, this is good enough. That is one role that mentors have really played for me. I even though I'm a lawyer, I often like to just be behind the scene doing my work, and I would say that mentors have really pushed me, you know, to be out there, to be on the center stage and to enjoy the spotlight and everything, right? So yeah, mentorship has played a very crucial role for me. It has also helped me to avoid certain mistakes that maybe I would have ordinarily made, right? It has helped me to avoid certain mistakes. And finally, it has also helped me to dream really, really big, because I have, oh, my babies are awake. Oh yeah, so I have like people that have done amazing things. I have people that have done things that you would not really expect people from these backgrounds to do. And so I'm like, if there is a footprint, somebody has already done it, right? If somebody can do it, then it means I can do it, and I can even do more. So yeah, mentorship is really, really crucial to my work, to my career progression, and I think it's something that every young person should really make the most of. And even though I think at every point in our life, you don't even have to be young, you're always going to be mentors that you need at different phases of your life and different seasons of your life. So yeah, mentorship is really, really crucial. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Junke, for sharing. That was really great. So next we're going to have Elizabeth, and if you could, just summarize that to us. I know that the overall moderator, Linda, is somewhere thinking of sending Sheyi a message. Don't worry, we'll be done with this soon. So Elizabeth, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sheyi. Thanks for care, thanks, Halimat. So I think I'll just simply say that mentorship is the solution to most of your problems when it comes to your career. I feel like that's like a short summary of what mentorship is. And why do I say that? I say that because, as Funke mentioned, it allows you prevent yourself from making certain mistakes that are so avoidable. Because what you're simply doing is you're talking to somebody who has already walked in the shoes that you're about to walk in. Those mistakes that they have made, they will tell you. So that you too, when you start walking in those shoes, you will not make those mistakes. That's pretty much it, And even go a step further to ensure that you achieve your career goals. Your mentors are there to provide you with all the necessary support that you need to achieve your career goals. And that support could be in different forms. It could be material, right? So they could, lead you to resources that you could use. It could be networks, right? So maybe you want to go for your master's. They might know certain people who have already gone for their master's and have navigated all the wala that comes with going to go and do a master's, and it just connects you with these persons who you would otherwise not have that connection without your mentors. They would also provide you sometimes even with financial forms of support. It doesn't have to be like them giving the financial support, but they could at the same time point you to places where you could get financial support, for instance, scholarships, right? So your mentors are there to provide you with support. One thing I would just simply say, because I know we're out of time, is your mentors don't always have to be people who are way older than you, who have the big names and the big titles. I think that's one thing one mistake I see a lot of young people make. Sometimes your colleague in the office, who is your age mate, can actually support you much more than somebody who is even in a higher position, because they might have similar areas of experience that you have. They might have similar resources that you are looking to get. It could be your immediate line manager, for instance, the person who you're directly working with. One thing that has really worked for me is anybody I work with at any point in time who supervised me or was like my coordinator, on the job or on the project, I ensure that I build a very good relationship with them that transcends beyond the job, right? Such that even when I leave that job, these people are people who can speak for me. When I need references, recommendations, when I need some form of support with my career or my career path, they are people I can always still go back to and say, oh, I need support with this. I'm confused about this. How best can I go about it? Because they know that this is somebody who has showed some form of potential, has showed some form of capacity that they can support. And then the last thing I would say on a final note is that mentorship is a give and take relationship. You are not only collecting and collect. Don't turn yourself to collector. Also be a giver. Give. And it doesn't always have to be the big things. Your mentor is working on a project and she has been telling you about this project and you are seeing that she's working on this project. Reach out to her and say, Ma, is there a way I can support you with this project? Maybe coordinate or help mobilize or share the flyer on your own social media platform, or say, okay, I want to be like the rapporteur at the events. I can take notes and prepare a report. Like, they don't need to tell you. You are the one, you know what you are looking for and you know what you're trying to get from this person, right? So you should be willing to offer help. You should be willing to offer some form of, support to them as well, right? And it could be in different forms. I already mentioned some. Their birthdays. Wish them happy birthday on social media platform, right? It sometimes is the most little things that you think are not so much of a big deal that actually goes a long way. Because what you're just simply doing is, as I mentioned earlier, you're nurturing that relationship so that when it gets to a situation or a point where you need their support, they will be willing to support you. And then going back to the point of having mentors that sometimes might be in the same age group with you, they are sometimes or more times more available than people who are way up. We all know that's true, right? So sometimes you might be able to get certain things from them that you might not get from somebody who is so far away or so distant away from you. So don't underestimate anybody when it comes to mentorship. People have a lot to give if you're willing to give them, that chance or that opportunity. So I'll stop there.
Wow, thank you so much to all our mentors for doing this. Oh yeah, I feel like it was a right choice of having these mentors because everything is just making sense. So we'll move to our last question, and just last week it's how we were all saying Binani because she was close to becoming the first elected governor in Nigeria. But then let's put that aside. Let's go to the question. So Sadia, how do we tackle the issue of gender bias in politics? Sadia, can you hear me? In 1 minute, can you tell us how we can tackle the issue of gender bias in politics?
Oh, that is a very long one. But what I can say for sure is that women make a huge portion of the voters when it comes to elections. And I think that one of the things that we can do is to ensure that we actually play the grassroots game, in the sense that we actually reach women at the grassroots level to actually have these conversations with them. We talk a lot about how gender bias and certain belief systems affect the way that women work. Earlier on, we mentioned how women also suffer from the same patriarchal mindset, and it plays even in the way that women vote. I understand that Nigeria is a peculiar country and there's a lot going on when it comes to the electoral process. But I think that one of the things that we can do is actually do the grassroots work of actually engaging with women at the local government level, actually getting them to see the importance of them voting, and not just voting, actually running for office. It's not enough that women should be, women leader of a political party. Who says that you cannot be the front-running candidate for this party? You do not have to relegate yourself to a gender position. You actually can run for office and win. And so for me, is that we need to focus on actually reworking the minds of women at the grassroots level to understand that you matter. You are a huge part of this electoral process, of the general democratic process. And we need to make sure that women know that they play a part, and we encourage them to actually demand it from the grassroots all the way to the top. So I think that's one way that we can go. Focus on the women at the grassroots. Thank you.
Sadia, that was really powerful. Thank you so much. You all have a message from the overall moderator, so you can check your chat box. I won't tell you what it is. Maybe it's money. Please check. So there's a message from Linda for everyone. So next we'll go on to Mrs. Funke. Yes, so could you tell us how we can tackle the issue of gender bias in politics? If we can do 1 minute, that would be good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Apologies, I have to turn on my video. I'm trying to feed my baby. Thank you so much, Sadia, for that point. I totally agree. I think that's something I would have said too. about the need to go grassroots. But I would also say, in addition to that, we need money to push women in politics, right? And when I say money, I'm not talking about like vote buying and all of that. I'm saying that a typical man who is running for an electoral position, has lots of money available to him. And then for the women, it's just, let me say, most times for many of the women, young women I see, it's just really vibes and inshallah. So we need money to get the people at the grassroots, to get the campaign going, to fund campaigns and all of that. We need money. So in addition to, everything that would be said, we must begin to look at how we can ensure political financing for women, who want to go into politics. I'm not talking even at the senatorial level or like the governorship level. I'm talking women that want to run for, grassroots positions, House of Assembly and all of that. Money is a key factor in the electoral process, right? And we must begin to look for ways, innovative ways to help fund women, that want to go into political process. So yeah, that's something that I think would really be helpful.
Thank you so much. Another powerful one. So next we have Elizabeth. In 1 minute, if you could tell us how to tackle the issue of gender bias in politics.
Okay, so I think I'll try to use myself as, put myself as the case study. Personally, I have zero interest in politics. I know a lot of people crucify me right now, but that's the honest truth. And that's like me who is learned, supposedly. And this is something that a lot of people actually share. And that's because we believe that, politics is a dirty game. It's something that has a lot of, issues, right, surrounding it. But I think one of the things that really changed my mindset on that is information, right? So I believe that one of the things that we really need to do, adding to what the other speakers have already mentioned, is we need to provide information. People need to begin to see what the dividends, especially women, we need to start seeing what the dividends and the benefits of participating in electoral processes would be for us as women. One of the implications is the fact that when we have just men in politics, which we have seen over the years, it's really difficult for us to push policies that empower women. It's really difficult for us to push policies that, take into consideration the challenges that women are facing. Because the truth is, women are in the best position to know what our problems and our challenges are. And we're also in the best position to come up with, policies that tackle those challenges and those issues, right? So we need to begin to reorientate ourselves as women, right? And then the second thing is we need to also begin to deploy the power of role modeling, right? Role modeling in the sense that we begin, you see the way we have men in the political space, right? All the way from the youth level. So you have like the youth parliaments, then you have the youth one thing, different political, groups. They have men who have gone ahead of them that provide support to the younger ones, some form of mentorship to the younger ones that are coming on board. So we need to also have such platform provided such that women who are aspiring to get involved in the political space have women who have walked the path that they're about to work, provided with some form of support, some form of role modeling, such that if I see that this person could do it, right, the chances of me being able to do it is a bit higher than when I'm not even seeing it happening at all. So I think those are some of the things that we can, really do. Information, we need to begin to provide the correct and right information. We need to begin to, pull up role models that younger women can look up to, and we need to also begin to provide a lot of mentorship opportunities for young women who are aspiring to get to the political space.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and thank you to every of our mentors for sharing. You people carried us to where we want to be, and it's glad that we are here right now. Thank you so much for sharing. You people have been really, really, really amazing. So I wouldn't want to talk so much because of our time, and I'm going to hand it over to our overall moderator to continue the wonderful job that she has been doing. I hope you learned a lot from this, our mentors. It was really good. I mean, I learned so much. So Linda, over to you.
Thank you, Shay. When I called you super smart earlier, I'm sure they were wondering, oh, who's Shay? Now they've met Shay. Thank you so much for our amazing lineup of interesting and highly intelligent panelists. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge you have brought to this event. Thank you so much. So right now, I know time is against us and we've been granted some few more minutes. And so we'd like to invite Irene Igomu, the program officer from Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative, and Ruth from the same organization to lead the reflections from the round table. Then after that, we'll quickly go on our fastest finger airtime game. And after that, we are out of here. Okay, Irene and Ruth, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Linda. At a point, I almost shouted hallelujah.
Happy to hear. Good day,
because
everyone.
of how relatable it was. Ruth, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. I said thank you.
Okay.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ruth. So there are so many key points, so many punchlines, so many things I picked out of the mentorship roundtable. But I think for lack of time, I'll just leave it up to you guys. Please, if you have anything to say, very short and brief, just unmute yourself, give us 1 or 2 reflections, any key thing you took away from what they said. You can put it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and say, please. Do we have such people who want to see your beautiful faces? So please just say something.
Okay, I just want to, I really enjoyed the session. And I want to just encourage us that when the people who spoke on politics, which I'm passionate about, not because I want to run, but so that we encourage women, that when women come out, a part of our jobs is also to talk about them on social media, especially the younger ones. Talk about them the way men write about other men. You don't need to know them personally, and if you have followed their work, say, please run, Madam Mary, thank you. If you follow their work over time, I wrote about Madam Hiba Ireti Kingibe. I've never met her personally, but she's somebody I followed her trajectory in FCT. And when they were contesting and tussling for her, I actually wrote, congratulated, and then people now started saying how they voted for her. So I think we should do that. And then for mentor-mentee relationship, like the other person said, because I have those people telling me I want you to mentor. Let me tell you, one of the ways you can get into your mentors, like your mentor has a book, buy it and read. That's part of mentoring. Okay, when you're going to your mentor's house, even watermelon is a valid gift to give your mentor. They will not reject watermelon. They will not reject apple. I'm just telling you, these things are things they will not teach you anywhere. Apple, no, just buy. Even helping them to book flights. I have mentors that, some of them are technologically challenged. I book flights for them online. Say, ma, please, when are you going to Enugu? I'm booking your flight. They send me the money, I book their flight. These things are simple things that keeps you in their face. You can't give them money. You can't give them network because you're actually using them to network, but you can give them some of those kind of services. And the final one is, please, the women who have made it, who are at the table, have discovered that they are too grateful to be at the table, that they don't want to shake the table. Please, when you have opportunity and you get to that table, please, if you need to shake the table so that other women, so that people can listen and bring in other women, please do that. What we do is that women are too grateful to be at the table. And that's why you see us not making so much progress politically. We've had women getting there, but they stay there because they are too grateful to be at the table to shake the table.
If it means breaking the 4 legs of the table.
Exactly. If it means break it, and then they will reconstruct it so that they will bring in more women than opposed to just sitting down for 4 years on that table and you leave without another women coming up. Imagine 7 women in the Senate last time. Now there are 3 and they are all new, meaning that women can't even become presiding officers because they are all new. So if some were still there, they might contest to become presiding officer. But by the Senate ranking, they can't even be presiding officer. So it's a pathetic one for us. But I pray that we get to those tables, whether in fashion, in business. If it means breaking that table to get other people, please do so. And when they give you the opportunity, dear young people, please don't blow it up. Don't go behind and start gossiping about, I don't mind her. They say she's pleased with men. You say, join the table. and you are there dissecting this person that they said, no, don't do that. Shut people down when they talk about other women. See, all these things we judge women for, men are doing even worse. So let's keep the judging out to ourselves. When we get to our private meeting, we judge ourselves. Thank you. Okay, support Aisha Binani for the rerun too as well. Let's talk about Aisha Binani because I understand there's a rerun in Adamawa. You know, they don't want to give her that thing. She clearly won from what we can see. But these are things that we need to be talking about on social media. So these people know, they know that we women know what they are trying to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you know what the mentor said about the issue of imposter syndrome? Please don't be quiet and don't shrink. But I would like to maybe read out some of the comments in the chat. Maureen said, reworking the minds of women at the grassroots level. That is a way of breaking gender bias when we want to go into politics. So please, say something that resonates with you, any key points you had. We are running out of time, so for the next 2 minutes, we are going to, open the floor for anybody who has any contribution to make. Thank you.
Hello, Irene.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well done. It's been a beautiful time so far. I'm also enjoying myself. I'm learning learning as well. There's a guy that when we started said he's been working in the gender this thing. I don't know. Is he there? Can he tell us what he's been doing? I don't know.
That's Mr. Zach.
Owen.
Mr. Zach, I guess.
Mr. Zach Owen.
Yes.
Is he there? Let's know what he's been doing. Advancing the cause of women.
Mr. Zach, are you still on the chat? Oh, I think he has dropped off. Okay, no, I see him here, but he's muted. Maybe he's not listening. He's still on the chat, still on the call, but I guess we'll just move on. So, Ruth, do you have anything to say?
Okay, he said, then he said he was driving. So I don't know if it's...
No, that was Charles.
Okay.
Okay, I guess since nobody has anything to say,
if I may, just following up on Stephanie's desire to hear from Zach, I want to ask all of us in this place right now, who do we think or what do we think is the biggest handicap for women? Because Stephanie just asked Zach, what has he been doing to advance the cause of gender equity or gender equality? But I am always more keen to hear from women. Of course, I really appreciate the 3 men on here. I always want to hear, how are women breaking tables? And all the women that were featured today are women, in my opinion, that have broken tables and are creating space for other women. So I want to pose this question to the group, and I would love to hear 2 or more comments. What is the biggest handicap for us as women? Is it that men have shut us out, or is it something else?
Oh yeah, can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead. Oh, Irene, Irene will give you permission.
Please go ahead.
Irene, sorry.
Please go ahead.
I think I don't know. I always don't like to say this, but I think we are our problems. We women are our problems. There's a joke that my husband always tells me. He says, when you go, if you watch the elections, when you go to the polling units or the polling places, you discover that there are more women there to vote. And if a woman is contesting, you discover the woman usually would have the least votes. So why are we as women not voting for women if we say we are supporting ourselves, or that we want gender equality, or we want us to break tables, or we want to put ourselves in places? The men will not put us there. So why are we as women not supporting ourselves? There's a lady, they said she contested for presidency, and in that primaries, she was the only person. In fact, she had just 1 vote. So we all believe that she voted, that was just her voting for herself. But when she was going to that venue, Women followed her. At least more than 20 women were on her entourage to that place to go and vote. But when they counted, only one vote for her. So what are we doing to ourselves? We can't tell men to work for us when we are not working for ourselves. So I think we should begin to work for ourselves as women. Let's not look at ourselves as competition, or like she said, like women are not good for leadership. We are good for leadership. Somebody once told me that, Stephanie, this your picture looks like a first lady's picture. You should be first lady. I said, who's first lady? I want to be president or governor myself.
Can't you be the governor?
I said it. I told her I want to be governor myself. I don't want to be first lady. Who's first lady? Did I tell you that my husband will contest?
Exactly.
So I want to be for myself, not somebody's first lady. You know? So please, let's support ourselves. Like, we can start from small, you know. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Sorry, Irene. Do you know that even from the people who work in your homes, how many of them have bank accounts? You have women who come to wash for you. They don't have financial inclusion, and you're paying the person by hand. You're not also empowering that person. Do you know the lady that was, I made sure you must have accounts. I can't deal. You know, and I tell them the benefits because it starts from all that. At least you have an account. If I one had the temerity to tell me I should pay the money to her husband's account, I say, wait, though, as a full body woman where you be, you work, finish for 30 days. I go carry this money, go pay inside your husband's account. You did all right, or your village people, they follow you. You know, but you see, these are the socialization. So we need to even start from those small things, you know, before we even get to the big ones. The people around you, girls, are they going to school? Are they learning trade? Are they learning a skill? Do they have accounts? How are you trying to reprogram their mind? Because some of them are coming from where they believe that a woman cannot even lead. A woman should not even say anything. If you are my house help, and voila, if you stay 6 months with me, in fact, you'll be speaking like, because I'll make sure that I remove everything your village people have put in your head and put in another one. So when you go back to them, they say, I know this is a different girl. You know, so we need to start from those simple ones as well. Thank you, Stephanie, for adding to that. We don't vote ourselves. Then we want men to vote us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Irene. Priscilla said women don't even believe in the leadership capacity of fellow women. That is so true. My sister told me that she doesn't believe the governorship, the female governorship aspirant of Port Harcourt is capable enough to lead the state. And I just told her that's why they say women break down women. So please tell us, as Mrs. O said, what other things you think restricts women? What do you think brings us down? Any other person?
Yeah, I'd just like to add.
Okay. Sorry,
Okay,
there are 3 hands, so maybe you want to go in the order that their hands are raised.
Okay, sorry, the way my screen is positioned, I can't really...
Sadia, we can call it out for you. Sadia is up.
Okay. Sadia, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. I just wanted to add to what Madam Irene has said as well. I think the major issue for women is that we've been socialized into a mindset. And as we said, it's easy to learn. It's even harder to unlearn. A lot of women have been conditioned from their homes to their churches, to their schools or their mosques, whatever it is. They've been told that you do not belong in certain spaces. This is the ceiling for you. You should never cross past it. We had when Chimamanda talked about the fact that they say, oh, be ambitious, but don't be too ambitious. This is the conditioning that women get from when you are a child. And so it's very hard to unlearn when people tell you that you cannot aspire to certain things. Most of us who are kind of going contrary to that mindset, we have probably met women or we have seen institutions that we just cannot stand, that we say, no, we must do something about this, and we fight for it. But a lot of girls do not have even that option to know differently from what they've been taught. And so the work still goes back to us. How much are we doing to ensure that the young girl who is in a village somewhere, who does not have access to social media or as much social media that you do, actually understands that she has the power to rule her community? Because until we begin to actually have those conversations and let young girls know that, yes, you belong in every space, you are capable to lead and to lead well, we cannot really say that women are not doing enough. That whole socialization, the patriarchy, it is ingrained. It's funny that even for some of us who would like to believe that we're enlightened, there are still aspects of patriarchy that we are still unlearning. we find out you come across an experience and you find out, oh my God, this is a problem. You have to let go of that mindset to become a better version of yourself, to know, okay, this is a problem. This is what I've been conditioned to believe. But I think that it's a long game, and we have to give women grace because we're all on learning, and we have to put in the work to ensure that women know. Because until women know that I will vote for this person and it's okay to vote for this person because she's just as valuable as a man, there is no way that we can move forward, especially politically.
Thank you so much, Sadia. Please just keep your answers very short and precise. So, Miss O, who is the next person, please?
Yes, we have Aderonke, and then Elizabeth is next, and then we can.
Okay, Aderonke, please, short and precise, straight to the point.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the first person has said like almost what I wanted to say about the fact that there is subconscious conditioning that women have been subjected to even since when they were born. You know, it's just in this time and season that we have this championing of yes, gender equality, and it's so loud, right? So a lot of women have been conditioned to think that, you know, a woman should not lead, right? And like what she said, that we need to begin from the basics, like from even as little as 1 year old. So it's just like a reprogramming thing that has to happen for women to know that, for a girl to know that I will vote this person or I will accept this person into leadership, not because she's a woman or a man, but because he or she is competent. So competence has to be more loud than gender, you know. So that's what I just think about the whole thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just like Charles said earlier, mothers should also try to ingrain it on their children's minds, the importance of the girl child. It starts from the house too. So over to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks a lot, Irene. So I think I just want to add to what the other speakers have said, and I'll just talk about visibility. I mean, I agree with everything they've said, but I'll just talk about visibility. I think one other thing that we really need is visibility. We need to see the way the male candidates are all over the place, and we all know that these people are running and all of that. We need that same level of, you know, visibility. And I think Madam Irene that talked about, you know, do we even talk about these people? Do we share them on social media platforms? Do we publicize them? Because that's also one of the ways in which we could actually support them, right? Because if people do not even know them, right, then there's no way they can even provide form of support when it's time for them to go out there and actually vote for the person that they want to rule or, you know, be in that position. So I think it's really important we look at, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I think it's really important that we look at how we can begin to provide that visibility to female candidates who are running for office. It's extremely important.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I've been seeing words about mentorship running around, the importance and all, and this is a very perfect time to be a mentee. So hop onto the EMP, that's the Evolve Mentorship program on Instagram, and they'll walk you through the process and, you know, connect you to a mentor who would align with your career goals. Ruth, do you have anything to say before we end our segment?
Yes. So the section has really been amazing, and yeah, for this last question, one thing I understand, like from my place where I come from, it's I would say is low self-esteem. Most of these women seeing the things that are happening around them and the stereotype and all that would actually discourage these people. We also need men who are aware and support ladies, women that have this ambition, because most times you discover that these men don't talk down on the women. Yes, I've even heard men in politics around me who say, oh, okay, this woman cannot run for this position because she's from this background, and all that, things like that also actually cause low self-esteem in these ladies, in these women. Now let's take a look at school politics. As we're talking of grassroots politics, school politics, those in school, they want to run for the SUG and all that. It is very difficult to have, I can't count how many schools that have female SUG presidents. Let's start with that. Yes, there are mostly the male SUG presidents, and this thing has really eaten these ladies up. It has given them this low self-esteem, and when they come out, they'll be like, no, they can't compete. The men out there, and yeah, so these things are also barriers, and we needs to be worked on. Thank you. I think we've come to the end of this session. Over to you, Miss Linda.
Thank you, Irene and Ruth. Sorry, we're out of power and I've been hunting for light, natural light. Thank you. Earlier on, I said the roundtable mentorship session is an incredible session. Now you understand. See the conversation that has followed it, and you can see the discussion. If you start today, like if we allow them to keep talking, we will not stop. But it's really interesting because these things are important, and I'm glad we're talking about it. So the conversation can continue on the chat box, please. So thank you once again to our panelists on the roundtable. You all poured out unreservedly, and we appreciate you. And yes, I like table shakers, of course, for good reasons. And thanks to Madam Irene, I have learned a new word today, Georgina. Hey, God. Okay, so very quickly, we'll be inviting our co-convener in the person of our dear Onyinye Ede. You already met her. She's been speaking for a while now. She's the founder and chief empowerment officer of Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. She'll be presenting the 7-year video presentation of Strong Enough Girls and an overview of the Evolve Mentorship Program. And after that, we can have a trivia. You have the floor, Miss O.
All right. Thank you so much, Linda. And thank you all so much for still being on here. You know, when my team said we should keep this to 2 hours, I'm like, well, we will try. But there's a lot to talk about when we talk about the status of women and where we want to go. So I always like to leave the room open, but also be considerate of your time. All right, I'm going to share my screen. It's not going to be a video presentation. But it will be a PowerPoint, just summary of SEGI. So Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative is 7 years. Like, wow, we deserve a round of applause. We deserve some confettis and all of that. But before I forget, and before I go into my presentation, I want to acknowledge that in line with SEGI's vision and mission of ensuring that women are educated and that women get all the resources and support that they need, I want us to celebrate our very own co-convener, Stephanie Appel, because today, right before this event, she had to go get her, I believe it's her diploma at the National Open University, and she got her Bachelor of Science degree in entrepreneurship and business management. I love when I see women get those degrees. So I want us to celebrate Stephanie. Stephanie, I hope you're there. You can show us your face, but please let Stephanie know that we are so proud of her. I mean, she is the Shapepe, is it Shapepe of Nollywood? All these, she wears so many hats, but education, she had to ensure that she will pursue her education. So Stephanie, let me just let you steal my a bit of my 5 minutes and say something to us.
Okay, it's been actually, I have a story that I told myself that I'll share at the right time. But like Onye was saying, I'm a Nollywood giant. Yeah, that's what I do. But I finished my diploma. I did a diploma in banking and finance. So I finished that diploma when I was 18. So I came home, I told my dad, oh, I'm done. So what's next? I'm supposed to start my proper degree. And he told me, okay, that's the best I'm going to do for you. So if you get married and your husband wants you to continue, and you continue from there. And by the grace of God, I got married to someone who was ready to allow me go. So I've been going and I've been doing. Today is another one, and we're thankful. But just imagine if I got married to a man who wasn't ready to support me. That would have been the end of Stephanie. So I just want to thank all the women that are training their boys to support women. I have only boys, And every day I make them understand that the woman in their life means a lot to their life. So today was just another one, a BSc in entrepreneurship and business management. Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh my goodness, my music. You all stay till the end. We will dance on behalf of Stephanie. So congratulations, Stephanie. I'm so proud of you. And I really just wanted to just carve out this time for us to celebrate you, because women deserve to be celebrated for all of our many achievements. All right, so I'm going to just speak briefly. I had a lot to say, but we're running out of time. And I just want to acknowledge that SEGA is 7 years. We turned 7 in February, actually, 25th of February. Back in 2016 was when we were officially acknowledged by the Corporate Affairs Commission. But of course, it's been a journey even before the February 2016. So I just want to share a few highlights of what we've done thus far. And of course, as you all know, I'm Onine Ede. I'm the founder, and I like to say Chief Empowerment Officer, because nothing fills my heart as much as making sure that people that are working with me and everybody that comes after me is empowered to be her best self. Some guys have snuck into our organization, and I'm also empowering them to be their best selves, because we really need all of the genders to work together towards the world that we want to see. So at SEGAI, our vision over the past 7 years has remained the same, that we want to see an equitable world where every girl and woman feels supported and empowered to reach her full potential. Also, our mission, which I like to tell my colleagues, it's our day-to-day activity. What do we do on a daily basis? So our mission is that we ignite, we nurture, and we harness the intellectual and social strengths of adolescent girls and young women through education, mentorship, and life skills development in order to promote strong character. I believe we need women with strong character. We also want to promote excellence. Everything we do should be done excellently. Good health and community among girls. Health is wealth. If we're not feeling strong, one of our speakers could not join us today because she's not feeling so well. If we're not in good health, we're not going to be running for all these political positions. We're not going to have successful businesses. So we at SEGAI, we want to ensure that women are living in good health while pursuing their dreams. And our philosophy is that we believe in the power of working collaboratively to bring about transformation and sustainable development in girls, women, and their communities. And I don't know that I need to say this, but I'm sure you all have seen our example of working collaboratively. Purple Ball is a team effort. It's not just SEGA, it's collaboratively with several different partners. And a lot of the work we do is in collaboration with others, because nobody is an island. No one person can solve all the world's issues. I also want to announce that we do have a newly revamped website. So I encourage you to check it out. I'm really excited. The website is quite exciting, so hopefully you don't get too overwhelmed, but please check out strongenoughgirls.org. Some of the highlights over the 7 years has been that we have been able to expand from just having one person, which was me, to now having 5 full-time staff and over 15 volunteers. And most of our staff are based in Nigeria, but of course I'm in the US and I'm always in and out of Nigeria. We've also been able to sponsor over 12 girls in secondary school and 5 young women in universities across Africa. We've been able to get several grants, and we're looking forward to more grants. And I've listed some of our donors: Tony Elumelu Foundation, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, UNESCO USAID, and recently the Nigeria Youth Futures Fund. We were also very excited last year to be one of the season 2 winners of the Pitch Family Planning Competition, which has really blown us up a bit. I feel like everybody is now talking about the Indigenous podcast. We're also thinking of how to scale that up. So that has been one of our most exciting projects. And then we've also graduated through the Evolve Mentorship Program that has been mentioned. We've graduated over 50 African and Black women. And these are women who have been part of a 3-month program that is teaching them personal and career development skills, such as how to write your resume, how to negotiate for a promotion, how to have self-confidence, how to have emotional intelligence. I mean, our mentors are amazing, and they've been able to help us equip this next generation of leaders. And then the last one I want to note is that you all should stay tuned. I am presently working on a book because a lot of people ask me, Odinye, how do you manage to run a nonprofit while you're not even in Nigeria and you run it successfully? So thanks to my team, I have gathered some of their testimonials because at the end of the day, I'm not the one that should tell you what has worked. They should tell you from how they have seen my leadership, what has actually helped us over the 7 years. So I do hope that we will publish that book in April. So stay tuned for a launch event coming up. And then our impacts, we're presently active in about 4 African countries, as well as the United States and the United Kingdom. And one of the things I'm proud of is that we have sustained partnerships with government, civil society, and donors to advance girls' education and gender equality. Like I said, we cannot do this on our own, and government really matters. Sometimes we have to teach government what to do when it comes to advancing gender equality. So SEGAI is proud to partner with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Women Affairs, and also donors. I love to challenge our donors. When you ask us for proposals, let's be realistic about what we're expected. And also let's all be encouraged to push some of our donors to channel their funding where it really needs to go, like in rural communities, in marginalized communities. And let's make sure they give us the resources to get the job done. Okay, let me move away from that. Like I said, we've sponsored girls in secondary school. We've reached over 50 communities, over 10,000 women. We've also mentored, okay, this is a repeat of what I said earlier. All right, so the Evolve Mentorship Program, you all have heard of it. What is it all about? It's a Pan-African program, and it's a mentorship and a leadership program, which seeks to connect women that are aged 18 to 35 to outstanding female professionals who provide them with real-world inspiration, advice, and guidance to support them on their life journeys. And our goal really is we want to equip these young women with the skills, resources, and the knowledge that they need to lead and live healthy, productive lives. That might sound like a lot of English, but honestly, what we're trying to do is just make sure that women don't feel like they are alone. There are so many girls that graduate from secondary school. They have no idea what they want to pursue for a university degree. Some people go through university and they still don't know how to put together a resume. It's not about shaming anybody. It's not about disgracing anybody. It's because we realize that our educational system, particularly in Nigeria, has failed us. So Evolve Mentorship Program is trying to bridge some of those gaps, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa and the diaspora. So that's why we started the Evolve Mentorship Program in 2019. And as I said, over 50 young women from Africa and people that identify as being Black, they've gone through our program, and the testimonials have been amazing. People that have gotten scholarships from Nigeria to study abroad, people that have gotten really great jobs, people that have gotten internship opportunities, people that have connected with their best friends or their best mentors through this program. So I believe the website has been posted in the chat box. Check out the website and apply. We're wrapping up our 12th cohort right now. The next cohort will begin in June this year. So feel free to join us. And I just wanted to show you some of the people that make our lives great at SEGAI. These are some of our staff and our volunteers. Not all of them are captured, but these are many people. And last but not the least, I want to acknowledge our board of directors. All of these women on here have been with me even before SEGAI was officially acknowledged by CAC. And without their support, we would not be where we are today. So I just want to acknowledge our board of directors and just thank them so much for being amazing women, mothers, sisters, aunties, and champions. All right, I'm going to end there, but feel free to check out our website. I'm just going to go through some pictures because we have them. And then, yes, so that is it. Thank you so much. And back to you, Linda.
Thank you, Onyinye. Thank you so much for that impactful presentation. For driving the work at Strong Enough Girls and the Evolve Mentorship. Many participants here, and myself included, we are a proud beneficiary of the Evolve Mentorship platform, and I can attest to the impact in my life and in our lives. I will now invite Maureen Tokula, the Communications Officer from Stand With a Girl Initiative, for the fastest fingers game. Good luck. Hi,
Hello,
Maureen.
hello,
Are you ready?
Linda. Hi, Linda.
Yes. I can
Sorry,
hear you.
I'll be dropping off soon because I have another meeting. But I wanted to quickly say something before I leave.
Okay.
I want to say Onyinye is a partner you want to have on your side. Since Onyinye
Absolutely.
jumped on Purple Ball, whether I like it or not, I have to move. Onyinye, thank you very much. We value your partnership at Glamody. Thank you very much. And I heard all of you calling her Miss O, Miss O, Miss O. You better learn how to call Mrs. Somebody, because by May, we are going there and we are finishing the Miss Something. So, Onyinye, congratulations ahead of your marriage.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All corrections noted. All right. Maureen, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Linda. So before I start, I just want to say it has been a very wonderful time spending time with everyone here. And I was not going to leave without saying that I enjoyed listening to all the speakers. So big shout out to Sadia and Elizabeth and the last speaker, Ms. Funke. It was very delightful. With me here, I have recharge cards, and I'm hoping that we can go home here as winners. I mean, there are not so many. It's not as many as everyone joining, all the participants, but I'm hoping that even without winning this, you can still go home winning by knowing that we had all that impactful knowledge from Ms. Irene to all the speakers and even the moderator of the session, Sheyi. So thank you all very much. Before I start, so I have with me here Ethel, Glow, and Nine Mobile and MTN. I'm starting with the Ethel line. So let's get ready. Sorry, my voice kind of sounds dry because
Maureen, before you start, may I quickly add that if you are successful, you don't have to try again, so someone else might get it. Please.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, please allow other people win. Okay, Airtel users, let's get ready. So I'm going to be speaking a little bit slowly because I'm made to understand that we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So some lucky winner might be there. So I'm starting with Ethel. Ethel users, I'm hoping that by now you've had the time to put in your code. So it's 18776814044050. Please, do we have a winner? And if you've won any airtime, you can just indicate in the chat box so I can easily move to the next, or keep it aside and call it out again. I'm going one more time. Airtel users. 1877676814044050. Oh, it's been used. Okay, all right. So moving to Glow, the Glow users. Are we ready? Sorry, I'm kind of delaying so that we can put in our codes because people get to fumble when they're anxious and trying to do it fast. So Glow users 350-6636-189-24326. Do we have a winner yet? Glow users, I'm going one more time. 350-6636-189-24326. Oh, congratulations, Priscilla. That's nice. I'm happy for you. So now Nine Mobile, which is also Ethel, in case Etisalat, in case you're not sure. Etisalat users 1957803446121118. That's for Nine Mobile. I'm going one more time. Trying to check the chat box so I can be notified when someone wins an airtime. So 9 Mobile, one more time. 1957 8034 46 12 118.
Yay.
We have a winner. Yay! We have a winner. Yeah. Congratulations, peace. MTN users. I'm sure half of us use MTN, but that's just a speculation. So MTN users, are we ready? And my apologies to people joining outside Nigeria. I really wished I could get something for you, but I'm sure the conversations have been great so far, so it's still a win-win. MTN users, 0944 2806. I'm being a bit fast about this because I know we have a lot of MTN users. 4342 072248. One more time, MTN users, 0944 2806 4342 07248. Do we have a winner? MTN users, you guys are slacking. I'm going to call it one more time. I can't see from the live, so I can't tell if people are winning at the comment section. Oh, it's been used. Thank you very much for informing me. So one more time, I'm starting again for 9 Mobile. Starting from 9 Mobile. Yes, thank you, peace. 9 Mobile, one more time. 7573 08 61 08 69 242. Some fingers are really indeed faster than Usain Bolt. Okay, I'm going again for 9 Mobile. This is the second card. 7573 08 61 08 69 242. So MTN users, sorry, I'm trying to be conscious of your time. I wanted this to be a really like vibe, have the vibe and everything, fun and all of that, but I still hope you're having fun. MTN users, I'm using to MTN. MTN users, again, we go 555 920 1948 62 93670. MTN users, one more time. 55920 19. Oh, you got it. Oh, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Glow users. Glow users, are we ready? Let me just give you time to put in your codes because it's sometimes the back and forth can be a bit confusing. Glow users, so 3500 80 9132 99304. One more time. Glow users 35008 091 329 9304. Has anybody won the glow? I just want to be sure so that I can put it aside and I'll mix it up. Please, if you want the glow, you can just signify in the chat box or in the comment section, wherever it is. Or if you tried using it and it's been used, you can just let me know so I can move on. In the absence of any response, I'll move to the Ethel. So Ethel users, are we ready? Maybe I should get my phone and try as I call it out, but that'll be cheating. Ethel users 1629 4244 1040 8855. Do we have a winner? Ethel users, one more time, 1629 4244 1040 8855. Oh, your sister won it. Okay, congratulations, please. I'm happy she did. All right. Thank you all very much for joining the trivia, and I wish you guys a lovely evening. Thank you and bye. Sorry, over to you, Linda.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Maury, for making that fun. Congratulations to the winners. I felt like I was participating. It was so much fun waiting to see who will say I won it. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, so we've come to the end of our event, and I know we just have a little information to share. For me, I would say the Purple Ball this year is peculiar. The wealth of shared experiences, the simplified illustrations on equity in Nigeria, the impact of mentorship, and of course, helpful tips for a rich mentorship experience. The conversation on global skills women need to compete in a fast-paced and male-dominated workspaces, and of course, the response on the challenge of political imbalances against women, the pure strength in vulnerability. Wow, it's been a lot, and I'm really grateful. I just want to say thank you, and I'm really happy to have been a part of this experience. And I hope you are also grateful to be here. Now, for the winners of the trivia questions earlier, led by Queen, kindly check the chat box for the contact number for you to reach out to once we are done, so that it can be reposted now in case you've not gotten the number of the person you have to contact. So we appreciate the partners that made this event possible. We have Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative and Glamorous Mothers Development Initiative, Stand With a Girl Initiative, Shades of Earth, and Sustainable Impact Development Initiative, the Anozen Gogozi Aid Foundation. We appreciate the speakers and the panelists for not holding back, and the participants for being so active today, and especially shout out to the few men who joined us today and made their presence felt. We appreciate you all. I want to encourage us all to please connect with other women to close the gaps in education, financing, stick together, support each other to create the Nigeria we want to see, irrespective of how the general and the state elections turned out, right? Being your sister's keeper is a team. Identifying a mentor and reaching out is a real thing. And by all means, let us all grow this year. And very importantly, continue to guide your mental health, irrespective of the rising situations in Nigeria. And special shout out to our DJ, Mrs. O, special shout out to you. And of course, although we have come to the end of this year's Purple Ball event, I don't want to kick you out yet. So we would like you to network with the amazing women doing great things here. So feel free to go inbox, say hello, and ask for contact details. I'm sure they will oblige you. And yes, feel free to dance to the music. Our DJ will be going to work again. Thank you everyone for joining us. And this is the MC signing out. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone. It was such a nice time.
Thank you.
We don't cast.
Woo!
Now everybody go to breakfast.
Zaga
You go bow for the result. Nothing to discuss. Cause I did win by default and without any doubt. For me, I be a doubt. I no go feed the girl. I no go feed the girl. It's out. My mind that's really dark. I put my life into my job and I know I'm in trouble. She manipulate my love. I know holy and I know that get both. Like the Baba Frayo. My ayo. Don't cry yo. I need to go and shadow. 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 Shadow. I need to go and shadow. I need to go and shadow. I need to go and shadow. I did what I got run and kill Soboma. I did try to buy moto, one Toyota Corolla. My feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Now you crash your Ferrari for leggy bona. That's what you remind of me all over. My feelings been they swing like Django Lover.
See how they live, could take out to them, but me no. This distance is taking a hold on me. come out, pull over. Shaping not this kind of things where they make man see ya. And me, I understand, so your dad don't like me, rara. Say me, I won't make you know, say me there for you, gotta. And if not the price be that, I for right to see ya. I never traded you for nothing. This love will make you with a sharp and shit. Without you, I don't to know. Without you, without you, my God, tell me what is up, bingo. I never traded you, baby. This love will make you with a nothing. No. I'm gonna tell me what is up, bingo. I'm gonna want to make you dead. I'm gonna want to make you. Baby, let's make you. Oh, baby, oh, no.
Easy takes me on the Snapchat. Sexy stamps me like spit it like black chat. Cause you know my quality best is rest assured for you. Be ready, shoot my shots in you. Put me on your private story. Let me see you in your full glory. Anything I want, she'll show me. She did finish work, she did go in. No man can ever clone me. I'm the realest, she knows me. Fulfill all that you told me. I'ma finish work, baby, go in. Yeah. You been on my mind lately. We won't forget, boom, boom, now. Yeah. You been on my mind lately. Forget, boom, boom, now. You want to see you soon. You should be here, man. Come catch my cruise. Me want to see you move. All I need is you. Baby, stay in my room. Yeah, good girl, right there. Say these tricks to me.
My brother, I know if calculate, the calculus, the plenty go. I know the reason how many people affect me, go. Inside the life, now inside the carcass. Open my eyes, Lord, make her they see ya. Make her face my front. Make a bad no use me just run. Make butter no stay my clothes. Oh my advantage every time I call. Cause now only that way they set my cause. They my holding as I run my run. Me I know they for their talk along. Oh my advantage every time I call. Cause now only that way they set my cause. Oh.
I don't feel easy love, go by me. I don't feel easy love, go and take me. I don't feel easy, for this is it. If I reason now,
I feel go day, Colometa, I feel go day, Colometa, This driving I follow come, still dreaming, but I know.
Now me with the clean in the house. Now me with the wash in the car. Now me with the cook Now me with the wash in the clothes. Now me with the walk for your shop. Now me with the I become a person for my happiness. So still be my own. Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, passing my own. I become a person for my happiness, so still be my own. Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, passing my own. Because not God that they put on my plate, food on my plate, fit no to me John. My colossal. Even as things could they go my boss. Now me wait they drive your keke. My balosa. Now me wait they run around. Now me they do the job. My balosa. I see the sweet us, he dey pen them. I see the pen them, mama, he dey sweet us. I see the sweet us, he dey pen them. I see the pen them, mama, he dey sweet us. I see the sweet us, he dey pen them. I see the pen them, mama, he dey sweet us. I see the sweet us, he dey pen them. I see the pen them, mama, he dey sweet us. Everybody want follow me, yeah, lead them a want follow me. Steady on my mind, no money. I know the strength so they keep on it. Wind up your body, get down. No, they test me, get your body, get down. You they sweet me when your body get down. Ginger me when your body get down. I see the sweet us, you they pen them. I see the pen them.
All right. All right, thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed the music. Or you still want the music going? I will leave it on as long as you all want it, but I think I should let you go. Irene, I will share the mix with you. Komomo, how are you? Oh, I forget that we're still streaming. Actually, let me stop the stream. All right. Thank you all for being here. All right. Cheers to the next Purple Ball. Hopefully 2024, it will be live in person. So thank you all. Till next time. Have a great weekend. Happy Women's History Month.